So yeah, I mean, and you can be mad as a black man. This isn't black versus white though. I know black
regardless,
we target them.
You know what? You're talking bullshit. I know who you are. Everyone knows who you are, Dad. And you know what? Fuck you. You don't represent my white ass. You don't represent many white asses. You are a disgrace to the white man. You should shut the fuck up.
I don't know why
you're just flush yourself down the cipher, down the fucking toilet with your ignorant, small town, stupid bullshit. Thank you.
What did I? And again, this is it's the same type of people who won't engage in, I guess, the debate. What did I say that was false?
Had sex with Africans in Africa, and you were talking about how women that dress sexy are whores. That's you. Daddy.
Again, you're moving the goalposts. You're
that's you. You know what? I don't respect for anything that comes out of your stupid fucking mouth. You're a fucking idiot. So you actually start getting some
guys, you don't need to white on white. Guys.
Disgrace to the white.
Guys, we already okay. This room starts. Wow. Okay, this is not the place for white on white violence. Okay, we let those other animals do it. So, not on my stage, please.
Finger nature, guys. Look at a couple of these animal cracker.
Well, you do see the problem, though, of what Sean brought up, which is that instead of engaging with what I said, which is all factual, and I would love for anyone to debate what I just said, which is true, that everyone on this stage...
I would love to debate that.
Has been able to...
Do you want to debate it?
White men's achievements. Sure, Cypher.
Do you want to debate that?
Tell me how you have not prospered off of white man's achievements. Go.
Okay, because you haven't achieved much of anything without stealing or taking from other people. Name a white invention
that was
made that was not sold.
Sure, ships. I'm just curious. Did we go to the shore of what would have, I don't know, been Nigeria or Benin, and I guess steal a seaworthy ship from the Brothers, and then conquer the world with it? How did that happen?
No. So great point, Pepe. So you didn't steal anything, right? What you did is that you bought back the people that you expelled out of Spain and Portugal to find cheap labor because you couldn't develop a country of your own without us. So you asked them to give them the refugees that you kicked out of Spain and Portugal and sell them to you cheap. If they're not going to kill them already, the ones you're not going to kill, send it to us, and we'll send them to the Isles of St. Tomé and other places in the Caribbean, like Cartagena, Colombia, where I'm at right now, talking to you guys, looking at the Caribbean Sea. And you sent them there to build and develop that whole region because you couldn't do it. Just like the Visigoths, the Goths, the Aryans, and all the other motherfucking white tribes that
white fucking power.
The last remaining, the end of the Roman Empire that you guys self-destruct, right? And you went to the Moors to ask them to take over that shit, and they did, just like the Moors, like your guy Saint Maurice saved the Celts from Roman annihilation in 275 CE, right? Just like Septimius Severus from Africa established Brittany, right? Just like the original Europeans or the black families of Europe, where your court gestures,
your
auditors, your taxes, all of this stuff, right? And all of that was developed by the Moorish rule. We brought you up.
So the niggas was the original Europeans, bro.
You guys have a recessive. Listen, like the medieval. You're the only people that had a medieval time period.
Do you know the percentage of...
Okay, I thought I was answering your question.
I want you to clarify. Do you know the percentage of Europe that the Moors traveled to? What percentage of Europe?
The percentage of Europe, all over. Basically. I'm answering your question. Literally, Spain, Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula. They also went into Germany. They went to Germanic areas, southern France, southern Russia, like Alexander Pushkin.
But the only problem with the Moors...
Alexander Pushkin, who created the Russian language. Without him, you'd still be speaking French.
Wait, are you telling me?
Right?
Are you telling me the first czars of Russia, they'd be real niggas and shit?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Even the first king of Brittany was a nigga. Septimius Severus. Your original, even Matilites was like your second fucking pope. Like they're like Greek African
I'm
folks.
sorry.
Like,
Can I?
and I'm not even in alignment with Africa. Like I'm a different breed of nigga, right?
The
So
Moors never conquered Britain.
No, I know.
They never got passed up to the count. They never.
I didn't say
Can I
Brittany,
respond?
fool. I didn't say that they conquered Brittany. I said that they conquered the Iberian Peninsula. You goofy. Like you retarded fucking nincompoop creature. You recessive genetic fucking squalling shit. You fucking shit monkey. You shaved fucking ape. You barely sentient fucking roach. I literally said that Septimius Severus was the first king of Brittany. Yeah, no, bitch. I just happen to know your history more than you do. I can unpack your whole fucking history timeline and tell you how filthy, nasty, and receptive and illiterate you motherfuckers are.
That photo.
No, it's not made up, bitch. I'm Googleable. All of the shit that I'm saying is an actual fact. You're just mad at the fucking facts, and your kids are gonna fucking hate you for it.
But the reality, you guys, we have we do have an OG nigga from and the part of Europe where niggas live, and that is. So we are going to let. Hold on. We have a real.
Burrito.
Well, no, I'm a spick. Get it right. Now we have a real nigga from Italy on the stage, so let him speak. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I'd like to say that Settimio Severo, which is the way how we say it here in Latin and Italian too, was of his mother was Italian, and his father was Phoenician. So the guy actually wasn't a real nigga, as how Cypher, you're saying this guy was a nigga. He wasn't.
I didn't use the word nigga. You just want to use it because you're safe on this app.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I didn't call him.
Come on, let the Italian finish.
He was in Africa, and what he's saying is a lie.
Well, let him finish. Let the Italian. Okay, Cypher, you got to let the Italian finish. I'm trying not to put anybody down, because that's usually not my style. So let Rick finish, please.
Mm-hmm. So at that time, the place that you're referring to where he was born was called Leptismania, which is the actual Libya of today. But at that time it was called Leptismania, but because it was a part of the Roman Empire, but actually those places were populated actually by Italians and Phoenicians. And also by North Africans and stuff. It's true. But the guy, Settimio Severo, was his mama was Italian and papa was Phoenician. So let's say like a kind of olive skin like I have, like you can see in the picture. That's the type of person you're talking about. So, and also when Cypher was talking about all the inventions that we stole. Cypher, let me tell you a couple of things. Okay, Europe created 1,000. So 90% of what you're using today. And of course, we have different modified versions.
Just name them.
What? Of course. Let me. So okay. Galileo Galilei invented in 1593 the thermometer. The battery was built by example Alessandro Volta in the 1800s. The radio was built by Guglielmo Marconi in 1895. The telephone by Antonio Meucci in 1850. Nitroglycerin explosives.
Tell us something that was not stolen, sir.
Well, he just told you he invented it.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's lying to you in real time.
No. I'm sorry. Even the concept of the parachute and the helicopter. Do you know who invented this? Cypher, do you
Tell
know?
us something that was not stolen, because you would have to explain the Iraqi battery that's 6,000 years old.
I'm trying to respond. So, the helicopter as a concept and the parachute were thought about by Leonardo da Vinci. Yes.
Because of
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes.
You see these guys. See, I think this is the part. I think this is the part. Hold on a second. This is the part that I think is maybe Cypher's getting confused. Is we, as all the jokes we like to make fun of Italians, they were like, at one point the heart of Western civilization and innovation, and they still have they've had a rich history even up until today, and those Moors. Hold on a second. Now, by all accounts, the Phoenicians, they were Mediterranean people, but they were definitely not black. And then when you talk about the Moors, you're talking about the whitest people from literally, and I mean phenotypically, the whitest people of North Africa that are more similar to the Berbers, who often have lighter hair and lighter eyes. These were not black people. The Moors were not
And
black.
they're
already complex, though. You're afraid to admit that they were black.
Cypher, can I give you another couple of examples? That's how
Come on, dude. Because I mean, I could unpack about 50,000 U.S. patents just by American Negroes that you wouldn't have a modern society without us. But go ahead.
It's okay. Probably
like
those
the
50,000 patents are based off. Possibly are based off of, for example, the microprocessor that was invented by a very famous Venetian here, Federico Faggin, in 1971, okay, in the region of Veneto, okay. Another one that everybody's using today, fucking concrete, everybody's using today, was invented by the fucking Romans back in the days, 2,000 plus years ago. Example. We can continue. We can continue. The piano in the 1700s by Bartolomeo Cristofori in Florence. The violin, all the beautiful things that we have today. Both electronics and more. They were all made in Europe. Yeah. You can deny that. I respect that you want to deny reality, but this is what it is.
That's fine, Rick. Hey, you gave us enough, right? Okay, now here's my counter, right? You know what? I'm going to give you so much grace and not unpack everything you just fucking said. I'm not going to even do that, right? I'll just give it to you, right? Now, name black inventions.
Peanut butter and the change of an already existing street light to one that's yellow, green, red. Amazing.
Aunt Jemima.
Keep going.
Aunt Jemima is amazing. She invented.
No, I'm asking Rick. I'm asking Rick, guys. Hold on. I know you want to lynch me. But go ahead. I'm just asking Rick.
No one wants to lynch you. I just want to play.
Pepe, can I get the same respect that you gave Rick? Can I get the same respect, bro?
No, you can't.
Okay. So I'm asking Rick. It's on Rick. Give us black inventions.
Israelite. Like again.
Okay, hey Pepe, I'm getting cut off by this fucking animal.
Yeah,
Brad's bitch ass is off the mic. Pepe.
I'm trying.
This fucking animal is fucking sentient 8.
I don't have to. You're right. My DNA
The shade barely sentient 8.
I don't have to make up a
It's asking me while I'm talking to another guy.
Yeah, but Brad is uncontrollable. He's a potato nigger from Ireland, and those people are animals.
Wow. But Pepe, you asked me to give Rick the floor. Come on, dude. Like, you're mine, man. Go ahead and mute him.
Okay.
That makes no sense. You can't even validate.
Yeah. Okay, Brad. Look, I'll come over for dinner later. Okay.
International.
I'll come over. I'll come over for dinner later.
4 hours a day on fucking Clubhouse.
Got you.
He's either keeping law.
Appreciate it, man. Let it out, man. Let it out. You need a hug.
Some other fucking bullshit that he likes.
I know. You need a hug, dude.
People sucking dick, and he loves going after women, targeting them directly.
Right.
And talking about.
No, you're a woman, though, little bitch. You're a woman. Look at you right now.
That's his whole.
Look how I got you right now, you effeminate creature.
You got nothing, dude. Again, if you were all.
You got nothing, dude. You got nothing, dude. Hulk Hogan's dead. Kirk is dead. Austin's dead. All of them dead.
Your mom who raised
But Rick, I just want to talk to Rick, if I could.
You're an example of pure ignorance.
Yeah. That's fine. I love it. But I just really wanted to talk to Rick. I was talking about black inventions. I was asking Rick, giving him a way out. You're letting Rick run.
And you couldn't do that shit.
Hey guys, you're letting Rick run.
Now you're here. Now.
Yeah, but no, we're not anywhere, Brad. You couldn't take us nowhere. You couldn't take yourself out of your own emotions.
And now you just want to.
Yeah, fuck your kids. I don't give a fuck about them.
I know
Yeah, great. So I'm just talking to Rick right now, bitch.
Piece of shit.
I'm only talking to Rick right now, bitch.
You were that, man. Your daddy.
Rick, just tell me some more black inventions, Rick. Don't never mind anything else.
You are that kitty toucher. Like father, like son, right? Your daddy is just that fucking piece of shit.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
Right.
Cypher? What are you gonna do?
Right. Hey, Brad, my dad's dead, though, Brad. I can send it to him, but my dad's dead. But Rick, let me go ahead and ask Rick the question. Why are you guys so riled up? You're fucking emotional. God, I thought thought you guys were so civil.
No, man, I don't have to comport.
I thought you were fucking civil. I thought you were civilized people.
I know you like raping girl
Yeah,
kids.
you just
I know you like
left those
raping kids.
and
That's what you said.
Wow, that's so nasty. I didn't know you were into that, Brad.
Craig, didn't you
Now
just
you're telling
say
us who
the
you
most
are, Brad.
uncivilized thing on the stage?
We got it. You said you
Yeah,
wanted to go
I thought you were so
rape
civil.
my
Dad
kids.
said you guys were civil.
You be civil anymore. You ain't civil. You're a fucking Neanderthal.
He's so
You're a
fucking
piece
civil.
of shit. You're a
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're not.
Tell us more.
He's a Neanderthal?
Yeah. Okay, but you're here.
You don't have
So,
to.
Rick,
You're
you're giving Rick a run. You're giving Rick the runway to run from this conversation,
You
bitch.
bought a fucking microphone at Walmart.
Drop
and then
your
you fucking
location.
At Walmart.
in Cuba.
Drop your
I'll buy your daughter. I'll buy your wife. I'll buy your mother. I'll buy your grandmother.
You're a
I'll
fucking
buy all of
shit.
them. That's what I'll do.
You know, by the way, we got that nice little clip of
I think Cypher and Mike should be
so we don't
roommates.
have to worry
But then we
about
might
it.
need to call the
Yeah,
FBI
but
because
Pepe,
one
are
of
you
them
gonna
might
let this shit happen
try
right
to
now?
shoot
You're
another
fucking
Everybody's
big.
rashing out.
You're
the kind of people they are.
letting these.
I mean, I got an Indian, and then I got an Irish, and then I got a black, and you people animals.
These monkeys
I can't
crashing
control
out.
all of you
They're crash
people.
dummies. I only asked Rick one question. Name some black inventions. And look at the visual. Look at the visual. So Rick, don't run from this, Rick. I'm focused on you, Rick. I want you to name some black inventions.
I guess you know what?
I want Brad to drop his
55% of the
location.
sexual assault and that black women.
No, Brad's not gonna do that. Brad's a pussy. He's just on his app. He's on the talking app. He's a bitch in real life. He's not gonna do that.
I give you your Pookie and your Ray Ray. I give you fucking
Pookie and your Ray Ray.
Right fucking.
I'll give you your Andrews and your Anthonys
That one.
and your Jonathans.
That's the guy that's punching your.
Yeah, yeah. I'll name all your fucking murderers.
That's the fucking.
I'll name all you white murderers.
And said he was going to.
I'll give you your Hitlers back.
DeAndre.
I'll give you guys this fucking the guy that just killed your other guy, your Kurtz. So look, hey,
I'd like
Rick,
to say,
name some
Cypher,
black
I'd like to say
inventions.
also, yeah, Cypher, I'd like to say also,
Baby daddies
Cypher,
and
Hey guys,
Cypher,
let Rick go ahead and say something.
Oh, Pepe, so
Yeah.
racist. Now you want to let Rick speak.
Go ahead, Rick. Rick, go ahead.
Cypher.
Go ahead, Rick. Answer the question
Yeah,
first.
real quick. Actually, you mentioned Hitler. Under Hitler, that was the first time when testosterone was isolated. Actually,
No,
And
what are the
many,
black
many
inventions?
Other drugs too.
Black
You wanna know black
inventions,
inventions?
sir. Stay
Okay.
focused, Rick. Don't run from
Am I
this.
able?
You're demonstrating
No.
you're losing.
Well,
You're
No.
You're
I'm
losing the argument, brother. You
You guys created that.
Are you letting me speak? Are you letting me speak or no? Just to know.
no. I mean, I want you to answer the question.
Okay, I will answer like this. If you have some people, black
Name
people
some
that
black
take
inventions, sir. That's all I asked.
No. I know
This
my
is
history.
actually
You're asking him
I
to
know
name
my
something
history.
that doesn't exist. How the fuck is he gonna? That's a trick question.
Yeah, fuck,
Hey, Cypher,
maybe.
why don't you go on ChatGPT and do a little research rather than eating out of a fucking dog bowl and taking a shit your whole entire life, you ignorant piece of
Cypher.
fuck shit. Cypher?
Cypher,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
talking to you, Cypher. Yeah, Cypher. Yeah. Why don't you fucking educate yourself instead of asking questions that you can fucking find the answers out for yourself, you stupid ignorant piece of shit. Let your ass down the toilet, you piece of dog shit.
Go ahead, Rick.
You know
Tell us
what?
some black
There's a
inventions,
reason why
Rick.
I'm not friends with idiots like you.
You know
I'm
what?
so happy
You know
every
what?
time
You know what?
I see an idiot.
You know what?
Every time I see an idiot on stage, I go and
You're
check to make
emotional.
sure I'm not
Where's your
friends with
father?
them. Guess what? I'm glad I'm not
Why did
friends
the
with
men in
you.
your family
I got
fail you?
3.3K friends and you ain't one, bitch. Go flush your ass down the toilet.
Why would I want to be your fucking friend? You're nobody.
Bye. Enjoy
Yes,
my white ass
you're a
face.
fag.
Bye.
And you're sassy
Talk
and
to your
zesty.
mama.
You
And
smell
that's
like
why
must.
You don't have a daddy. You
You smell like mildew moisturizer. You smell like old pussy.
Piece of shit. Oh, old
You smell like your grandma's
You know what? I
drawers.
got some Mando for you. You might need to
You
put on
smell,
your
you
balls
smell
back
like
and
you smell
shit.
like Brad's
Yeah.
drawers.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a productive conversation?
I was having it, but I mean, these creatures, they can't control themselves.
Like made up a whole
Get to
narrative.
the-
I'm literally asking Rick one question that he cannot fucking answer.
Which is probably why he.
Brad, shut your lying, filthy, funky monkey ass up. You fucking barely sentient nigger. You're a white nigger. You shut your white lying nigger ass up. Brad.
You know what? If you were all about that,
You white nigger. Hey, white nigger. Hey, you white cake rolling nigger monkey. boy.
Swim
I don't talk about fucking kids. You lying ass piece of fucking shit.
Come up.
But I'll tell you what, little lying ass, immature, emotionally unstable fucking piece of dookie. I'll tell you this little pelican bird shit. I'll tell you this little bird shit. How about this? How about you get the fuck out the way and allow me and Rick to finish our conversation? Can you do that?
Brad, drop your
I'm gonna cut your balls off because you're that type
Brad's
of
not gonna do that. Brad's a bitch in real life. He's pure moisture.
I'll come see you.
You chase those
I'll
things.
come see you, nigga. Drop that location, nigga.
Go ahead.
Alright guys, hey, order, cut this
You
shit
don't
out.
want that. You don't want those problems.
So
I know,
He does
I know.
not want those problems in real life.
are we allowing
So listen, we're not gonna have this shit go on long enough. You guys threaten each other, either fight or let that shit go. I'm talking physically. Otherwise, let's get back to the
are we
subject.
allowing threats in the room?
Hey,
Can we not have
but,
that?
but Free, can I ask?
I just started jumping back in, so I don't really have my
It was on me, bro.
I'm not talking about you, just so you know. Proved himself that he
Hey, Rick, but can I finish asking Phil? I asked the question. He's running.
Fair enough. Hold on, Sean. Let's pick up with Cypher. He has to start back up. So I step away so I hear a lot of what just happened. So let's have.
Because this guy just said he wanted to rape my kids. So I mean, I really.
You know, that's a fucking lie, you
Wow.
dumb bitch. You don't even have kids. That's a fucking lie. If I
Okay.
said it, I would gladly admit it, but I didn't.
Kids, nigga.
Alright, guys, let's not restart this. Hey, reset.
Yeah, recorded, playing back later on. Let me finish what I was saying to Rick, though. Like,
So guys, for fuck's sake, come on, man. Let's not keep doing this shit. I want to have a conversation. We done did this shit for like the last 5-10 minutes. I wasn't paying attention, but I heard the noise. So let's just start over, okay? Let's pick it up with Cypher where he left off at. Let's have a conversation, no threats and all this extra shit. I'll start moving these guys off the stage so we can have a conversation. Let's go.
gotcha. So go ahead, Rick. Can you name black inventions?
I was trying to respond to you. So what I'd like to say. What I'd like to say is, I'm sure I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know about black inventions, but possibly I'd say this: because of the major things were invented by Europeans, I'm sure that what you're referring to are, let's say, modified versions of different things that are taken. Let's say that are taken from something we've invented. Can I finish to answer or no?
No, because you just answered it with your submission. I'm going to reclaim my time because I don't want to waste it anymore. I know you're sorry. Go ahead and mute up so I can.
We're actually getting dumb.
Can I finish?
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. Cypher. I'm sorry. I was trying to respond. Can you let me finish? Thank you very much. So what I'd like to say is this: I'm sure that what you're referring to is a modified version of something we have already invented back in the days. So you can proceed to mention the thing that you want to mention. Okay, please. Yeah, go on.
That's all I'm doing. Just reclaiming my time.
Uh-huh.
So thank you. So Rick, you're making assumptions because you don't know what black inventions are, right? Not just the traffic signal, not just the automatic elevator, not just the refrigerated truck, not just the automatic gear shift, not just the carbon filament in the light bulb, not just the folding iron board, the home security system, air innovations, gas furnace, central air heating and cooling, the first electric cars, the fucking first planes out of Dayton, Ohio. Let's not go into the gas mask. Let's not go into all of the things you enjoy, like even satellite GPS, blood transfusions, and 50,000 other bags, and the millions more that were stolen. And you mentioned earlier about you guys inventing a fucking battery, and really you would have to explain, Brad, shut your fucking nigger ass up. Brad, hey nigger, you degenerate, recessive white fucking monkey, you shaved piece of animal shit, you pelican bird.
Did not invent the fucking world, you fucking moron. Just go back to screaming about how you're.
Yeah, I say most of the things he mentioned were not true. I don't think.
We'll bring you guys back up in a second.
The GPS was not invented by black guys. I don't think so. Gotta check this. Let me check this on ChatGPT. So who invented?
Wait a second.
Guys, please don't start talking shit so we get up there. Just calm down. Okay, thanks, man.
Well, I got a quick one for you. Aunt Jemima, her family fought the woke to keep her name and her on her brand. She was actually the original Martha Stewart before Martha Stewart was even known. Real talk. She actually used to be featured on a AM radio program, sharing recipes and whatnot on there. True story. Aunt Jemima's amazing. And so, you want to talk about innovators? She's the OG Martha Stewart. There's an example for you.
It's the most powerful country, United States government, with a flagpole, camera, and a radio. I had a whole.
Yeah, whoever has that Pepe title, I need you to speak. I don't know if it's real.
It's me.
Okay, I just make sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but free. Just so you know, the GPS was Gladys West. He's 97 years old. Black woman.
No, it says.
I'll let you hash it out.
I'm sorry. It says here, ChatGPT is saying.
ChatGPT.
The birth of GPS, 1973, the modern GPS concept was officially approved by the U.S. Department of Defense. The main architect was Dr. Bradford Parkinson, often called as the father of the GPS. I gotta check the skin color of this guy right now. What the really? Okay, let's check this. Okay, Dr. Bradford Parkinson. Okay.
What's the point of the video?
What is this?
So it is. Gladys Mae West is an American mathematician. She's also known for her contributions to mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth and her work on development of the satellite geodesy models, which are later incorporated into GPS and global positioning systems. Okay, so without this woman, this woman, literally, without this woman, you would not have GPS. Literally, you're interrupting me right now. I'm telling you something. I'm giving you real fast, and you're interrupting me, right? You're interrupting me, right?
Again, like Jesus, you are.
You're interrupting me, right?
Brad, I want you to let him explain, Brad, because I want to hear what you got to say. Come on. What are you saying, son?
Yeah. So literally, without this black woman's mathematics that was implemented into the GPS system, you would not have GPS. So if I have an intricate component to making what the next invention is possible, then I predate the original model. And without this without this woman, GPS would not be fucking possible.
What you're saying, that still won't get them like a car. Cars.
They wouldn't
But
be
cars
possible
need
without.
Cars need wheels, but just because a person invented the wheel doesn't mean they invented the car. You understand? Like those are two separate information.
Not the wheels. I'm talking about the engine. And without the engine, you wouldn't have a car. So if I created the engine to the car and the car model was built and my engine was put in the car, then I'm a contributing factor to the car, right?
Of course, yeah, you're a contributing factor, but you're still not responsible for the final model, the final setup, right? So if you say she contributed to it, based on what you're saying, I can accept that, but I wouldn't say she's the inventor, based on what you're saying.
Well, I mean, you can't be a contributing factor.
What is the point of talking about inventions? Are we trying to compare white to black, red to brown? What is the point of this fucking conversation?
They're trying to prove black inferiority. The point of this is that black people are inferior.
Hey, Creed, don't come in with your fuck ass shit. Get the fuck out of here.
That's essentially.
I ain't when you come here doing this goofy shit. No, it's not.
That's not what
you just hopped in the fucking room. Go to the audience. Sit your ass down. Goofy ass. That's not the argument. Listen, no. Yeah, go ahead, Cypher. Cypher, you came in here and you started saying that white people. Real quick, hold on, stop. Let's just reset real quickly for this particular argument, which I don't necessarily care for, but I know you're already into it, so let's just try to get this shit over with. You said that white people stole everything from black people, and basically they couldn't create shit without us. Essentially, that's your argument, right? Cypher.
That's a harsh way of putting it, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to make. Well, go ahead. I'm just trying to paraphrase so to make it fast. So that's why we got here. So we'll spend 5 more minutes on this shit and let's try to move on. But that's all. But go ahead and you guys wrap this shit up. I'm not in argument
for like a solid 5 minutes. Look, just give me 1 minute, not even just 60 seconds. The point that I'm making is that without my original point was about humanity and dealing with the issue of racism and white supremacy, which also impacts poor whites like Brad, right? Once you get rid of that, you can move the human species forward. That's the only thing that's really holding us up.
As soon as we remove
Right?
you
But
from
when
the
we're dealing with the
equation,
ideology,
we
like right
remove
now, I
you from
can't even
the
get
earth
60
because,
seconds.
again,
I
don't
can't even
like
get
guys
60
who wanna
seconds.
advocate for
Hey,
rape
Free, can I get my
children.
60 seconds
That
back, bro?
part is
Hey, but
kind of,
Free, can I get
Let
that?
him wrap up and you can respond right to him. Yeah, Brad, let him wrap it up. He said 60 seconds. Yeah, we got it, Brad. I'm gonna let you get the same word into it.
You can't stay off mic.
I give 60 seconds to the rapist.
Right.
Bitch.
Okay,
Right.
and Brad
That's
can
great.
respond
That's
to
great,
you.
Brad. Okay, Brad.
And I was
check this
still
out.
on the stage.
Yeah. All right. Look. Free. You see what's happening?
You were gonna
You see what's
fuck
happening?
every girl in my family,
You
right?
see what I'm saying?
For fuck's sake, man, we're grown ass man.
You know what I'm saying?
Chill. I see what you're saying.
That white nigga trigger.
Let him finish, Brad.
The fucking black watermelon
So
logic.
literally, when we unpack. Oh wow. Are you done?
Say your shit, man. Go ahead.
That man is tough for real, bro. Y'all keep letting this man put on this.
Come on, no. I'm
Like,
Brad.
Free, you have a
Just
great
like
thing.
finish.
I literally.
Talk tough on you.
I know he's in on it. He's in on it. Go.
While I can finish.
Fair enough.
All right, go. So, gotcha. So, when we unpack the human part, that's cool. But when we address the racial part that they created, okay, now we're talking about how inferior Black Americans are. And what I demonstrated is, hold up, without us, you wouldn't have a modern civilization. You would have still been stuck in the Dark Ages. You still would have been stuck in medieval times. All of the medicine, all of the shit that we gave you from before antiquity. Like, you're building yourselves on the back of our inventions, and also by highlighting the inventions, which Rick, falsely didn't know anything about Black inventors, right? He's sitting up here saying, oh, what white man did this, white man did that. I'm saying, no, without us, you wouldn't have the foundation to even support these things. But the real undergird of this is about ignorance. Your ignorance and your fear is what perpetuates these racial epithets, these racial comments, right? So when I respond to it with vitriol in the most meaningful way, right? Then motherfuckers want to feel offended, right? But I'm just offended by their body odor. I'm offended by their lack of intelligence. I'm offended by their ignorance, right? But when I deal with them on their level and unpack their history, which they won't allow me to do that, it humbles everybody in the fucking room, because there's degenerate people on both sides of the shit. Black, white, Latino, whoever the fuck you want to call it. That's the human condition. But once we deal with that shit and get rid of it, now we can actually have salient conversations that are meaningful.
But by the way, guys, I just want to take a real quick break.
That's a minute. You're done.
Can I respond?
Hold on a second. I just want to make it real quick. So everybody in the audience, follow me on this account. Thank you. It's Pepe.
So again, usually after that 12 waffle shit like that, I mean, again, we had to listen to the fake fucking businessman.
I just want to give Cypher some information. Cypher, for the future, there's an entire division that you can go to the website, U.S. Department of Patents. They have an entire section. Hold on, where they have a section of Black American inventors and Black American contributions to science. It's over 50,000. It's over 50,000 patents. It's over. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to.
That's what I was telling you.
Another one that claimed to live in Cuba, and yet you
Damn, let's.
It was actually on Brad. Brad was promised after Cypher, so it was actually on Brad, but you can hop in after Bree. Go ahead, Brad.
All right, I got muted because you've got the. I'm so sick and tired of the blackety black. We invented the world. You didn't invent it. You didn't do anything outside of any other extraordinary culture. As a matter of fact, we can go and highlight this. You didn't invent aqueducts to bring fresh water. We know this because we have, guess what, archaeological evidence to prove that. That was actually gone on in, the Roman times. They kind of invented that shit. The concrete thing is a big, massive advancement in society. Utilizing roadways, building infrastructure. Massively done under the Romans. They were the precursors to all of that shit. The Asians actually were farther advanced, and they didn't have any interaction with any Africans. They didn't come and steal that. And a lot of the trade routes that came from northern Africa, that went off the Middle East, they went into India. They heard stories of trades and relations and all that stuff. They brought that information back to Africa. None of this shit that you cited, any of those inventions, contributions are not solitary inventions. And there are Black inventors. but you couldn't name them. You went down the trope train because you're a fucking Hebrew Israelite. You're a fake fucking dashiki wearing motherfucker. You are not black. You are not black American. You said so yourself, that you lived in Cuba, that you were an international businessman, and then you said you wanted to rape my kid. That's what you said.
Bitch, I'm living in Cartagena, Colombia, and Medellin, and Ohio,
I don't
and
care
Atlanta,
where you're at.
and Houston, bitch.
Again, Tashiki head.
And you can't even get your line right, dude.
Go
on.
Look
Look how I got.
wanting to be it. You're not an American. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You're not.
I'm going to be in your
Wait,
wife.
I get moved for interrupting him, but I mean, I got that shit, Pepe. That's a weird room. That this piece of shit.
I have a tolerance until you don't stop. I got you though, Brad. He stopped. Go ahead.
Again, he's fake. Again, this fake fucking Hebrew Israelite shit is just bullshit. You guys aren't fucking taken seriously. America doesn't take you seriously. No one wants to take you seriously. Your biggest contribution, your biggest invention, because you are not black, sir. You are not black American. You are just a fucking piece of shit that was a failed abortion attempt. All you're good for is standing on a street corner in New York City when you get to go visit all the successful people and you're screaming, I'm going to be important someday, fuck me. And you step in line and then you go to private little motel rooms so you can suck off of your other Hebrew Israelite faggot fucking pieces of shit. That's all you're good for. And the sooner that black women realize that you are just a vile piece of shit, that's the better off they're going to be. Yeah, you got that, right? Because you said you wanted to rape women on this stage. You said it. You said that. So now we know what you are. You're Pookie. You're the black man that black women talk about on this fucking end. You're the piece of shit that they don't want. They don't want you in their communities. You're the percentage that 95% that seem to touch young black girls when they're fucking 3 years old. You're that type. We know who you are. Everybody does. That's why you're not in America. Stay the fuck out of my country and stop trying to compare yourself to black Americans. Because definitely, black Americans fucking stand heads and shoulders above any fucking piece of shit.
You beat your ass, Brad.
You ain't gonna beat shit, motherfucker. You ain't going to beat shit.
No, they would. I'm in the South.
Alright, guys. Guys. Come on.
But he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just having fun.
It's cool. I appreciate you guys. I'm full. That's it. We're gonna move on from this subject. I know Creed want to come on stage and do a fucking TED talk. Creed, at most 3 minutes.
Both of these guys.
What happened?
Yeah.
Why don't they go to their own
Free, I'd like to
people can come in there
apologize,
instead of
Free,
taking over this
because
one?
I had no idea what was going on
okay.
after hearing Brad. But I just wanted to say that I put in the chat from MIT 300 Years of African American Innovation, and the Department of U.S. Patents has an entire section. But after hearing Brad, I'm going to be quiet and go on mute.
Well, damn. Hold on. Wait, time out. This is
that nigga Brad talking.
This is a moment to reflect on. Yes, Creed has chosen not to speak. And no offense, Creed. I don't know what's happened to you. Maybe Charlie Kirk changed you or something. I don't know what the fuck. But I'm glad of the new man you become. I really respect that. Back to the topic. Lisa, you was trying to say something earlier? Lisario?
I was trying to respond to a guy.
Go ahead.
Trying to respond real quick. Berekebeg, this guy said that us Mediterraneans, Italians, basically Romans, are not white. I don't know what this guy, where this guy studied, but Italian people are white. The Romans
so Rick,
are
the
white.
cheat sheet is that anybody does something great in history, they're black. So that's how you know that they're black. That's what the cheat sheet is. Yeah. That's the logic behind the belief. Yeah, the belief system is that anyone who has done some great in history is black. So the Egyptians, the Moors, any group that has done some that has transcended civilization, that's what they believe.
I'm very sorry, but these people don't live in reality. I mean, I am sorry for them. That's all I want to say. And also, it's not a competition between me and Cypher. Just Cypher, I understand what you're saying, but it is undeniable. And it would be stupid to deny the fact that most of the inventions that we have today, like the radio, like the battery, like the discovery of the atom, and splitting the atom in two, and all this stuff, nuclear energy is coming. This stuff is coming from Europe and the U.S. too. Yeah, but from white people, and I'm sorry if you're offended by that. It is undeniable. If you have a different view, I respect it. I personally think it's not based in reality, but okay. Just to the guy in the chat, don't say the Romans are fucking black. They're not. I'm white, okay? Okay, and I'm a direct descendant. I'm a direct descendant of the Emperor Cassio. Okay, straight.
You know the story of
my surname. Of course.
The Emperor. Did you say the Emperor Ocasio?
Cassio.
Oh,
No,
sounds like Ocasio.
Yeah, the one that fucked his cousin.
Sounds like an AOC relative.
No, he didn't fuck his cousin. It's okay.
Sorry.
But Rick, like, are you really saying that you're a white person? Not European, not Italian. Okay, I want you to. Do you know the etymology of that word? Rick, slow down. I'm not your enemy, but do you know the etymology of that word?
I know.
Do you know the etymology of the word white? Do you know the etymology?
The etymology.
Yes. Do you know what etymology means?
And of course, English is not my first language. You can enlighten me on that, and you please.
Okay, I put it in the chat, but you can also Google it. The etymology of the word, the English word, which is originally W-I-G-H-T, comes from the Old English word wit, meaning living being, creature. Hold on. Living being, creature, traces back to the Proto-Germanic whites, and ultimately the Proto-Indo-European root word wiki, which meaning thing or cause. Like you could really unpack that. I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't really use that word. Like, black doesn't describe me. I'm actually cinnamon colored, rather handsome and dapper, right? But Negro would probably be more accurate, right, for the description of me.
Negro is Latin. I'm sorry, Negro is Latin.
Right. But Negro would come from the word like nagid or the niggid, right? And if you look up that word, that's more accurate because the vulgar tongue, allow me to finish, the vulgar tongue perversed it from nagid, niggid to the nigger, the nigga, and the niggid, right? So if you look up the word, the etymology of the words, etymologies give you the roots of where these words originate from, right? So when you're talking about you're white, then you're calling yourself a thing or a creature. That's where they would probably come up with the word mankind versus man or human.
Brad, spell etymology.
Listen. The word nigga or nigger comes from the word negro, which is Latin, which means black. Okay. About the word white, well, I don't use. I'm Italian. I use bianco. Bianco is white in Italian, and also Latin, straight derivation from the Latin. And I don't know about this white etymology stuff. What I know for sure is that when in 55 BCE, Julius Caesar went to England, they called the word English, comes from how he called the people that were in there, and he called them Ingrilis. From there it became English, which is the English that we know today. Ingrilis is like the transliteration would be somebody who transforms into a rat, because actually were the Romans that brought actual civilization to, modern Western manners, let's say, into England at that time, and because they didn't even have toilets and stuff, and so they saw these people very dirty and stuff, and so we thought to civilize them.
Have you really studied white history
and export
and your hygiene?
Can I finish?
Your origins, your politics, and where they come from.
No. Wait a second. The hygiene of the modern Western world comes from the Rome.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, and have you looked at the Roman bathhouses and their hygiene?
Goddamn, of course.
Okay, unpack that for us. What does it look like?
Okay.
Isn't that where a lot of diseases came from?
Yeah, they would drink their urine.
No.
You guys didn't wash your bodies in the European Middle Ages, the Dark Ages?
Absolutely not. You're so wrong. What you're referring to, you're referring to the French people. Can I finish? Am I allowed to finish? No. Am I allowed to finish or no? Okay,
go ahead.
What you're referring to? Okay, what you're referring to the French people that indeed did that, and that's why also we have the best perfumes that come from France. even today, because they were trying to hide this bad smell. And this is true.
Everyone is getting old.
Wait a second. And this is true. But actually, the real, let's say, the hygiene, modern hygiene, let's say, how we wash ourselves today, how we go to the toilet, the toilets and all the different versions of the baths, and the Roman baths, the stuff that comes from the Roman times. And actually, there was an emperor that was called Vespasiano, okay, that actually invented the public toilet. Yep. And even today in Italy, we call them Vespasiani. This type of toilet, we call it Vespasiani. It was invented by us, together with all the different, how you call this? I'm sorry, I don't have a very rich vocabulary in English.
It's not true. It's a very small percentage of the
Wait a second, I'm trying to
take that out of the state.
Anyway, well, sewers, yes, sewers, and central heating also, and also the aqueduct, and also the aqueducts. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the aqueduct. No, wait. Well, I understand. Maybe they have a pearl version or something like that. I'm sure, but the modern way, Egypt surely didn't have the modern means of sanitation that we have today. Okay, in Europe and the rest of the world, they surely had something similar. That's for sure. But you can't compare what was done by the Romans.
Something similar. I think that they're the ones that even taught the Roman. Okay, go ahead.
What else do we agree upon?
They were speaking Roman, Latin. No, I'm sorry. They didn't understand. They don't understand what you said.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
What did you say?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What did you say? What did you say? No. What did you say? What did you
I
say?
said that I believe that they even taught the Romans a lot of these inventions that you. That's why I said go ahead, because you're not responsive to it. It's okay. I'm just filling up the chat with a lot of history.
And were you in this room?
No. I understand. I understand. No, the cipher. I'm sorry. I understand. They could have had something similar to the Romans, or you are saying, okay, the Egyptians were taught the Romans about this stuff. I don't think so. If you think so, you're entitled to your opinion.
The history that you're talking about, I can tell.
No, I know a lot of history. I was born here.
I can literally unpack you on the stage, and I'm putting evidence in the chat. You don't know much about any of this, because there's no way that you could be telling the truth about your posture in history.
Why is it so important for you to make some point like this? Would you like me to create a medal?
Where does the word vandalism come from?
Post it on your chest. Would you like a special medal that you're correct? I mean,
what it does, Sean, it humanizes everybody.
You know what?
It definitely humanizes a lot of people where there's no superiority complex, because there's nothing superior about it.
But when a white person
your origin story is filthy,
I'm the
it's
first
nasty.
white inventor of this, blah blah blah, or the black inventor of this is this, blah 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 blah, or if you're a member of
it just humanizes because
I'm sorry.
the narcissistic disposition, the genetic narcissistic disposition of white people is not founded in anything of fact.
You limit yourself to it being all about black. You limit yourself.
No, it's not even about black. It's about it being about facts. Because I can tell you some nasty shit about niggas too. I can tell you some real fucking degenerate shit about niggas.
Government is very boring if there's no excessive spending.
Your
The truth is government should be boring. Government should be exciting. Government should be the source of the economy. Government should not be the source of all the net income across the S&P 500. It's about by any government historically. You have to fight back.
Hey, Charlie Kirk for an hour. You probably have never listened to Charlie Kirk for even 1 hour. You probably never gave him a chance. Like the ignorance is fucking real.
I agree with him on 2 different points.
Yeah. I agree with ignorant. And it's not just the other. The issue is that all I hear coming out of your life and other people like you, like Mike as well on stage, is that you want to constantly point fingers and compartmentalize, whether it be sexual preference, color, whatnot. It comes from the party of your liberal asses. Not with you.
No, I'm not liberal. Hold on. I disrespect that. I'm not liberal at all.
Well, you know what? You're shocking. I'm not confident that you can play either way? And
No.
Get to work in public.
No, it's not even independent. I'm not more conservative than anything.
I'm just saying everything. Okay.
You're trying to because you're assuming.
Well, you don't understand then what conservatism is. It's like the same. You're like the same person.
Dude, listen, I have more conservative views than you probably do.
Extreme right wing. You know what?
No, not at all. You're painting that. See how you're saying shit that I'm not saying?
Do you know the difference from a leftist?
But do you see how you're painting shit
to
that I'm not the same?
a radical to an extremist? There's three levels.
An extremist, a radical, an extremist. Why is it that you need to paint me in that position?
If you, I'm not painting you in a position. I'm just saying you basically are speaking text-based form on every level where you come from and what you're saying. Everything you're saying screams.
No, you don't.
You're not.
Let me tell you though.
You're nowhere near the right side, bro.
Your foot in your mouth.
You're not even halfway.
Yeah, I want you to put your foot in your mouth.
You're left. You can call
I'm
yourself
more conservative than anything.
Hold on. You know what? Maybe at best, maybe you can call yourself middle left, but you're not.
Middle left? I mean, is that the way that you need to look good?
Do you want to deny?
That's being kind.
Cypher,
we want to play compartmentalizing.
You need to feel good about that or something.
No, I think there's a lot of stuff evidence you're providing that makes it really easy to figure out who you are. You can say whatever.
You don't know who I am. I can tell you who I am, and you don't want to fucking believe me. You need to compartmentalize me because you're feeling insecure about your disposition in this conversation.
You're feeling
really insecure. I can feel your insecurity like moisturizer coming from the Caribbean Sea that I'm looking at, right?
Frustrated. I'm just
right. So I can feel your disposition because you're insecure about what it is that I'm saying, and you don't know how to figure me out. You need to put me in a box to make yourself feel comfortable about it, but I can tell you who I am.
Cypher.
I can tell you what I'm on. I can tell you exactly what I feel, my thoughts are.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tell me that.
You're the one asking for black inventors when everyone else in chat was actually providing the answers and you weren't even reading them. I don't think you can even read.
Dude, I was actually having a conversation and giving the facts. And then I also put more shit in the fucking chat and you just feel insecure about your position.
Stop writing your.
It's insecurity. That's all it is. I feel it. I understand.
Do you want to deny?
I understand that you're insecure, bro. It's okay.
Sean, real quick, Cypher, I wanted to talk to you real quick. Do you want to deny all the inventions that I've mentioned before regarding the radio, regarding the battery, regarding all the stuff that I mentioned before that came actually out of Italy and out of Europe? I understand you have a different point of view on what the Romans did with the Egyptians, and some things might even be true. Some of them, of course, not all of them. But do you want to deny all the inventions that I've mentioned before?
Rick, did you hear what I said earlier? Yeah. But Rick, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said earlier about that?
Say it again.
What I said earlier? No. Did you
I don't
hear?
remember.
Yes or
You
no?
said many things. I heard a lot of things. I don't know what you're referring to.
So you wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to tell you what I said. I'm going to tell you what I said, right? I said, you know what? I said, yeah, you have to listen. I said, you know what? You can have that. I'm going to just give that to you. I'm not even going to debate you on that shit.
Okay.
That's what I said about a half an hour ago.
It's okay.
Like, I don't care. Like, right? It means nothing because it doesn't take away. Hold on. It doesn't take away from the fact that Black Americans' contribution to the modern civilization is where we're at today because of our inventions. It doesn't take away from the 50,000 patents that are known. It doesn't take away from the millions more that have been stolen from us. Right, but it's not about. Here's where I'm gonna humble you at. It's not even about black or white. In this. Yeah, but hold on one second, dog. I'm gonna get out the way. Creed. Yeah, I'm gonna get out the way, Creed. I'm gonna let you cook. But here's the thing. The overall situation I'm really getting at. See, I like pissing some of you guys off because I know there's an inferior, insecure complex that creates white supremacy and racism. And I get entertainment from it. I really, truly do, right? And I love triggering you guys. But more importantly, because I have a very mixed and diverse family that is white, Latino, Black, and I am a Black American Negro, right? So that being the case, I really am for the human advancement, right? What's holding us up is this race issue. And this race issue is a white issue. It's something that you guys invented. And you have to deal with it. What Black people have to do also is heal from it. I'm in the business of healing my people. Oh no, yes, you can. I'm done. After
I'm done.
Okay.
You can't. I am in the business of healing my people from it, and my people just isn't limited to skin color. What I am doing by way of telling you guys the truth is humbling you to your humanness. There's nothing superior about your position, because if I unpack European history, it is very grotesque. It is very diabolical and fucked up. And it can be just as fucked up as African history could be, just as Chinese history could be, as Asian history could be, just as human history actually fucking is. So the only thing I'm really doing outside of having the entertainment of pissing people like Brad off and other motherfucking racists on the stage, I love that. I do. I may call me immature or anything, but I love getting you guys so riled the fuck up. Because what thing's going to happen is two things for sure. There's enough information online that your children are going to access that they're going to be very humbled by without. And they're going to be pissed off of the comments and the rhetoric and the recordings that they're going to hear from their immediate parents and their ancestors as they start to delineate from wanting to even be whites or even marry within their own fucking space. You guys are breeding yourselves out. White supremacy is on a self-destructive course of no return, right? And what will be remembered of you in history, I'm landing it right here. What will be remembered of you is nothing nice. It's going to be everything that you're going to have to defend in the future and make sense of. You have to reconcile that.
Okay, real quick, I would like to respond if possible. I respect your opinion. I absolutely don't agree with that. And actually, I would like to really correct you on one thing that you just said. You said that this division thing.
Yeah, and I'm like just now in that arena of like dipping my toes just barely into the water. Talking with people, but I'm gonna stick to my commitment. This is our last year of high school. We don't have very long to go.
I'm gonna play for you guys. It's a tribute for all the strong women. Give me a second. There you go.
Okay.
We need more strong women on Clubhouse, like you guys all.
Puta madre.
The Jazeera broadcasts everything and all. That was good. But most of them are dead. They got killed.
I don't know.
I'm gonna show that.
The thing of it is, my husband and I, we had those conversations, and he knew the kind of person that I was, and I knew the kind of person that he was, and we both agreed that we wanted each other to move on and find someone else. And so that's always been my plan. Priorities, I needed to make sure she was okay. I needed to make sure I was a good example of handling the grief in a healthy way and making sure that she did. So, yeah, that's kind of where I've been. And, I feel like grief is, I've made this analogy a couple times. People are probably tired of hearing it, but this is kind of how I feel about like the grief with him. When he died, it was like walking a tightrope, and you've never walked a tightrope before. You fall a lot, and sometimes they're really big falls that hurt, and sometimes they're little tiny falls that are more like stumbles. But you just keep walking that tightrope, and over time, you get better and better at walking the tightrope. You still fall, and sometimes they're still big falls, and more often than not, they're little stumbles, you know, but they get fewer and farther between. And that's kind of what my experience has been like. If I have a bad day, I just let myself have a bad day. And then the next morning I wake up and I say, okay, you had your bad day, now fake it till you make it. And somewhere along the way, you quit faking it and you're actually feeling it again, you know?
Feeling that mojo, positive vibration,
that's really
coming up my
I mean, sometimes you force yourself because your brain knows how to function and how it should be, but how it is really different from how it should be. Like you try to force yourself to think your emotions, and you do after a while, but it's really nice that you have reached that stage that you can feel the feeling and not thinking. It's really nice. And I wish for like more progress for you, and also a blessing from God for all your family.
It's not true. It's a very small percentage of them are.
Yeah, actually, thank you for sharing the story. It's actually, I love it here. Like I'm happy that it's doing Clubhouse. So people like me live their lives, and they're the real people, real deal. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And Mary, I'm going to send you a back channel to a house that you can join. It's a private house where we usually have coffee and everything every morning. That way when you do pop on, if you want a safe place to come, you'll have a place to go.
Thank you very much. That's nice.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about weirdos sitting in the audience under anonymous, streaming the room to YouTube.
Correct. Very correct.
If you can say it, it is not true. Free beer tomorrow, everybody. It's a safe space.
Well, on that note, happy Tuesday to the room, happy Tuesday to the space. And I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Serendipity, thanks for that share. And I just wanted to add, because you said something that I could relate to. My mom was the same way after my father died. She sold our family home, and we grew up in that house. You know, I mean, that was her first home, and she was in her early 20s. And my parents were married over 30 years. And when he died, she was like, I don't want to be here. So she sold the house, so I get it.
Yeah. That was probably the one extreme thing that I did. Was just get rid of everything that we owned. It was just like, goodbye. But I was mostly well behaved after that. I had a good example too, like helping my sister through her own tragedy. I think in some weird sort of way prepared me for dealing with my own. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yeah, baby, you need to stick something about Israel or Palestine's in that title to get people to come back in your room.
JB had a huge room today. All the black Clubhouse icons came to the room. It was pretty epic. One by one, like Ion, Dami. It was wild. I was like, wow, look at all the OGs of Clubhouse. Specifically the black OGs of Clubhouse in this room. It was insane. It was fun.
It's people
And it's
Well, good.
and we've done more.
I had popped in your room before that, but someone was in there whose name I won't say. I'll tell you later.
And the people
was in the room, and I'm like, I'm kind of mad at this person right now, and so I didn't trust my emotions. I didn't trust them to say something crazy and derail the entire room. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go leave and mind my business. Nobody needs that energy.
You gotta back channel me a name.
John, what are you doing in here?
Hey NY. Hey Serendipity. Hi BB.
Hi, John.
You had something slick to say to me the other night in JV's room under this Jaya account about my church submission and Doctor Who. What did you say? Stop spending so many hours watching Doctor Who. And I'm thinking, why do you care?
Well, because I know the value of a book. And I'm in a book club. And so, I spend a lot of time in churches and synagogues. But I got to tell you, when I read a good book, it's better than, all those experiences. So I was just trying to make the point that saying you're going to go to church or talking about the, Doctor Who, though it may be a good show, I'm just saying books is where it's at.
Yeah, have you read The Spook Who Sat by the Door?
Woo!
I didn't think so. Well, add that to your book list.
The United Nations says it's a genocide in Gaza.
Oh, wow. High resistance.
Nobody ever accused the United Nations of being right.
Hey, resistance.
They're right, because leading Holocaust historians, even the Israeli ones, have said it's a genocide. And they seem to know a lot more than you and most Israelis.
Hey, resistance. What are you
not
gonna?
Israeli.
Resistance.
I didn't say you were.
BB must not be by his phone, because I feel like he would have something to say to you right now, sir.
Well, most of them haven't had anything to say. They're not even opening rooms about it because they're trying to avoid the fact that the world has now proclaimed Israel as the terrorist state that they are, and they're committing genocide.
Hey, resistance. Can I ask you a question? This is Jaya. I just want to know, if you were elected to Congress or became the President of the United States, what would your top priorities be for we the people? Thank you very little, resistance.
My top priority will be to get all of the illegal white immigrants out of America.
Hey, resistance. Are you happy?
Not particularly right now with the genocide going on funded by America and the Israeli government.
Really?
I have a question.
Affect your day-to-day life?
I have a question for resistance. Do you know Yasser Arafat?
I didn't know him personally. No, I didn't.
Do you know him now?
Are you asking me, do I know who he was? Or are you asking, do I know him? Which one?
Do you know him and have you followed his career?
So,
or not?
No, I don't know him. Once again, do I know who he is and what he was and what he stands for? Yes, I do.
What do you think of that?
Hey, Mary, are you from Iran? Do you speak Farsi?
Yes, I do.
Oh, دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
Sorry?
I said دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
Oh, you're saying Belan bad time. Should I meet you too?
Yeah, so good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's nice meeting you. But yeah, I just wanted to know if, resistance is anti-Israel, and it's, in his mind it's
Well,
fair.
I just got back. I was picking up my little girls. Hold on. I just got back.
I figured you
Hold
were
on.
like, resistance was talking hella smack.
Can you guys hear me?
You call the troops smack?
Hello? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I just got back. I was picking up my little girls from school, and the room title is Let's Talk About Life. It's not to have people come in and attack any of the people on
I'd like to keep it that way. We're trying to actually have a normal room and keep all of the hate rhetoric out of this room.
So, I'm wondering if I could reserve 60 seconds of everybody's life to talk about life and read a poem to you about life.
Oh my God, here we go.
I mean, maybe it'll make resistance a little happier because I'm
So the genocide is not impacting people's lives today. That's not what's going on in life right now.
Unstable.
I mean, I saw you joining earlier. I think you should have said everything you wanted to say. So, I mean, BB is right. I mean, even though I wanted to talk further about
they silenced me earlier. That's what they usually do when someone's telling the truth about the Israeli terrorist state.
I mean, to be honest, I understand where you're coming from, but your argument was not very strong. But I don't want to make it political, even
No, my argument is always strong. That's why they always silence me.
It's always strong, though. That's a very low probability. I mean, mathematically speaking, you cannot always be wrong, right, or strong. But it's okay. I just accept it as face value.
Well, moderators, I'd just like 60 seconds to read this beautiful poem from the Persian poet Rumi.
Well, yeah, you know what? Beyonce named her daughter after that poet. So go ahead. I don't mind. I mean, it's BB's space, so I don't want to speak for him. But if it's light and, you know, on topic, go ahead, Jaya.
How does a part of the world leave the world? How can wetness leave water? Don't try to put out a fire by throwing on more fire. Don't wash a wound with blood. No matter how fast you run, your shadow more than keeps up. Sometimes it's in front. Only full overhead sun diminishes your shadow, but that shadow has been serving you. What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Your boundaries are your quest. I can explain this, but it would break the glass cover on your heart, and there's no fixing that. You must have shadow and light source both. Listen and lay your head under the tree of awe. When from that tree feathers and wings sprout on you, be quieter than a dove. Don't open your mouth on Clown House for even a coo. When a frog slips into the water, the snake cannot get it. Then the frog climbs back out and croaks, and the snake moves toward him again. Even if the frog learned to hiss, still the snake would hear through the hiss the information he needed, the frog voice underneath. But if the frog could be completely silent, then the snake would go back to sleeping, and the frog could reach the barley. The soul lives there in the silent breath, and that grain of barley is such that when you put it in the ground, it grows. Are these enough words, my clubhouse friends, or shall I squeeze more juice from this poem? Who am I, my clubhouse friends?
Lemon.
Israeli terrorists.
So okay, now that you keep poking and pushing, so let's talk about it then. Is Islam a problem for the world, or is a world a problem for Islam?
When we're talking about Israeli terrorism in the United States.
Well, let's talk about the real terrorists. So not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. Let's talk about that.
The guy who killed Charlie Kirk, was he Muslim?
That wasn't a terrorist attack. That was
terrorist attack. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was an assassination.
He was a Christian terrorist.
It was an assassination. No, he wasn't. That was an assassination. That was an assassination.
No, it wasn't. Charlie Kirk is not no politician.
You don't have to be a politician to be assassinated.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
How stupid are you, bro?
No, you're stupid.
You don't have to be a politician to be
assassinated. Politicians. He got killed.
Let's say he wasn't a politician, but Yasser Arafat was. And you said that
Yasser Arafat was a politician.
did you follow his career and do you agree with him or not?
I think we should go back to ask, like, why are you so angry, Resistance? Why?
Because the Jews are committing genocide in Gaza, and people are whitewashing it, and they agree with me.
Yeah.
See, BB, it's not just why is he so angry. It's really why is he so stupid? What happened to this man's brain and his development and on his journey in life? Who hurt you, Resistance? Who hurt you, sir? You are no gentleman. You are a racist. You are a bigot. You're a homicidal maniac! You attack people in the streets, sir! You're a violent man! You are a domestic terrorist, sir!
Weak-ass tactics. Why are you using weak-ass tactics trying to shut down Resistance? He's correct.
He is a domestic terrorist, and I have reported him to the FBI for promoting terrorism, supporting terrorism, and spreading terrorism communication amongst the people of America in Clown House, sir!
Jaya, stop trolling. Be serious for a minute, man.
How are you guys drinking children's blood, mingling their flesh with
Who the fuck's drinking children's blood? Are you honestly normal right now? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're posting in your PTR like you're on fucking Grindr. You wanna act serious?
You're hated for a reason.
No, buddy.
Grindr was created by Jews.
You're hated because you don't think you have a reason.
You wouldn't say
this ain't Grindr, homie. You ain't gonna find a date in this fucking room, and nobody drinks children's blood.
I get more women than you can imagine. You
bullshit. Bullshit.
Take your ass. Get the fuck out of
here. Bullshit. You're on Grindr.
Take your ass to Europe, motherfucker.
They're just reading
from Africa, you fucking moron.
I'm 109.
I'm from Africa. I was born in Africa.
Everybody's tired of you fucking clowns.
I mean, just focus on the
Not Israel. You don't have the DNA. You're not fucking Hebrew. Get the fuck out of here.
Shut the fuck up.
You guys are European. You're white. That's not your land. You're a
I was
colonizer.
born in Africa, you clown.
Nobody gives a fuck.
I was born in Africa, you
guys
clown.
killed motherfucking Charlie Kirk. Why was there a Jewish man over there getting arrested at the shooting? Who was
Whoa,
there during
Seymour,
9/11?
bro. We're not gonna go with
Why
that
was an
racist
Ashkenazi
bro.
Jew there? Answer the question.
Why doesn't he shut the fuck up?
Well, Seymour only does that because he sucks big black dick. That's why.
You guys got no respect, eh? You try to ruin the space.
Why would anybody
talking
respect
about
that?
life.
Why
you
would
start
anybody
lying
respect
about drinking baby. Shut the fuck up, you grinder fucking troll. Honestly.
He's
Who
reading
else wants to go down next? Honestly. You guys, you don't respect spaces. You don't respect there is women talking in here, and right away you want to talk about politics that you know nothing about. Nothing. You guys, none of you fucking fools have ever been to Israel. Ever. You will never go.
I've been to Palestine.
No, you haven't. You liar. You've already admitted that. You're a liar. You've never been there. Oh my God.
Because it doesn't exist. I've been to Palestine.
This guy's such a fucking liar, bro. Booty clapping fucking whore. Shut up. You and your grinder buddy. I didn't know you would actually have the balls to bring your fucking boyfriend on Clubhouse and expose yourselves. Wow. There was women talking. The title says let's talk about life, not about how you hate Jews.
Don't get angry.
Every day that you're not obsessed with fucking Jews on this app.
I mean, you have the right to get angry, but don't get angry. He was reading from a script, and they don't argue. And I mean, he confidently said that his arguments are always strong and right. So he's not right in the head. So don't argue with this.
No, I have a problem. There's 3 women on stage, and then honestly, Seymour, that's stupid, bro. Honestly, you're dumb too. Calling him a porch monkey, fucking racist. Like, you don't even deserve to be on the stage either. It's like, fuck. Throwing stones while you live in a glass house. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And that's the problem. That's what we deal with every day, just by being Jewish. You know how, like, you know, I was thinking about what you were saying, Sharona. You come to the app, and it was, you know, it was kind of a way to, like, be you without being you, right? And until you actually built up being you and telling people your story. Well, Jews come to the app right away, either their name or who they hang around with, they automatically get attacked. Just by anything. We're having you guys are having a conversation about, like, beautiful things about life, we were talking, it was so beautiful, the story you were talking about, you know what I mean? Everybody's on stage. Like, actually having a normal combo, and then you have people, and I went to my daughter's school, pick up all my little girls. I come back and I hear you guys, and it's like kind of in the Matrix, and I'm hearing this guy, and I'm like, I hope they're okay. So I buckle up my kids, and I get in the car, and I can hear it, and I'm like, what the fuck? They don't have common courtesy, no respect, and the problem is, they don't cherish women. They don't respect women in a way like, and I don't understand. Like, their father didn't jerk off on a rock and son hatched them. They were all brought here because of women, but yet they don't have the common decency to respect, like the stage, the space, women speaking about something. They want to derail it and bring their hate. The reality is, somebody asked them a smart question: why are you angry? That's the why are you fucking angry?
Yeah.
You know,
you have every right
it's
to
your
be
choice.
These people are
It is
desperate,
not.
and
You
they
don't have
cannot
every
help you
right.
for shit.
You don't have that right. You have the choice to come to this app and to be angry or to spread your anger. It's your choice to come here and to listen to it. Accept personal responsibility and self-governance, and most of these problems will resolve on their own. However, some people want to come here and spread their hate, spread their anger, spread their frustration, but they don't have any actual solutions to fix the hate that they're spreading. So if you don't have tools, I would recommend you get a book. I'm in a book club.
I don't believe it's going to solve on its own. There's a mental mind virus that's going around, and unfortunately a lot of people are infected by it. We see it every day on this app. It's prevalent. And I only know of one cure, and I don't want to say it because I can just tell you there's a lot of brass in it. But other than that, there's no cure.
It's got to be miserable waking up every morning thinking about how much you hate people.
Absolutely. I wake up, I want to see what's on X videos, Pornhub, man.
Much of this
maybe
is
you got a new feature actress.
Much of this is just dopamine because the population is an index of psychosis. And so let's say 20% of the population is suicidal or homicidal, or 10% or 5% or 1%, whatever that number is. You have to realize that this Charlie Kirk assassination and the Free Palestine movement have a lot of homicidal, suicidal people going crazy on social media because they want that dopamine. They need that dopamine because they probably are depressed. So the likes and the retweets and the hate speech, which gives them that dopamine bump, is because they probably are suffering from depression. However, that doesn't...
Where did we go wrong that hate gives us extra dopamine? Where did we go wrong as humans? I thought it was exciting, like going on a roller coaster, seeing a pair of titties at a bar, a girl seeing a guy jogging down the road with a nice ass, like, and then now it's hatred that gives us dopamine? Where did we go wrong?
It is a combination of software and hardware. It's Apple and Microsoft, it's Meta and Google, and your cell phone. Your cell phone, the reason why it's called a cell is because it's a prison. And many people on this app are trapped in that cell. And the truth is, you have to bring light into that cell. Everything can be broken down into the metaphor of a house. That's why Clubhouse is so popular, because your life is, we're technically a people at houses. And you have many rooms in your house that stores many different tools, or that you're storing. So people on this app are either intentionally doing it, they are psychotic, and they are delusional, or they are just hyper-polarized political people. It's a wide variety of people. I've recorded it all for many years, as you know. This is Jaya. I am complete.
No, it's called a cell phone because the wireless network it uses is divided into geographic areas called cells. Okay, you could reading in too deep to it. So what are you Jewish people going to do about your leadership, and how are you getting rid of them? So, because they're making you look back.
What are you going to do about it? More importantly.
What am I going to do about it? Well, you don't want me to get involved. That's your
Why not?
question.
No, it's not. That's not your wife's question. So,
your leader.
No, it's not my leader. It's the leader of Israel. So what are you going to do about it? Hold on. Can you hold on. Take the pacifier, put it back in your asshole.
Go ahead.
And answer a proper fucking question. Sounding like a whiny little bitch.
You don't
I'm not a coward.
You're
I'm
not
asking you direct questions. You don't know how to answer though.
if you don't give respect, motherfucker.
Bullshit.
That's not how this shit works.
Bullshit. It is how it works. You're in my house, bitch. You don't like it.
Look at you. You got a pagan
See the
star
door.
of a fake fucking country that doesn't really
Tell me.
exist.
Tell
Look
me.
at you clowns. 102
How?
Wow.
How?
How many forcings you bite today there, bro?
Okay, so let's talk normal for a sec, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Calm down, okay?
I love Hitler. He didn't do enough.
Okay, tell me more. Tell me. Hold on. Nobody interrupt this guy.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. So you're not
Tell me more.
You're not even a real Jew, bro. You're not even a real Jew.
Tell me more. I know you're gonna tell me I'm European next, but I was born in Africa. You fail.
Doesn't
Tell me
matter,
more.
motherfucker. And you're
Tell me more. Tell me more about how you love Hitler and how Hitler didn't do enough. Tell me more about the hate. Please educate me.
Okay, let me educate you.
Yeah.
In America, guess what? This so-called hate speech bullshit is free speech. Doesn't matter. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Unlike you, I'm not a coward. I've already been banned off of shit 28 fucking times, bro. I don't give a shit about this.
Don't interrupt them,
You
guys.
people don't matter. You people don't matter. You can record me all you want. You people
No,
don't matter.
nobody's recording you.
The
Don't worry.
judgment is coming to you. The judgment is coming to you. There's nothing.
Let it out, little boy.
I've had hundreds of debates with clowns like you.
Let it out.
Let's break it down. Let me make it very simple for you.
You don't know how to debate. All you do is like to hear yourself
97% of the DNA in Israel, shut up, I'm talking, is European. Why is it that you guys are sterilizing the black Ethiopian Jews over there? Can you explain that?
Who's sterilizing who? What are you talking about?
Listen, and you'll learn something. Using the Hannibal directive, he murdered his own people on October 7th. He said out of his own demon mouth that this is our 9/11. This is what he said. That's a false flag attack. Get the fuck out of here. This is what you guys did on 9/11. The dancing Israelis. Larry Silverstein. Yeah, he took terrorism insurance 2 weeks before the 9/11 towers were hit. There's always a Jew. Why is there always a Jew whenever there's a terrorist attack on this country?
So when you woke up this morning without a heart on, let me guess, you blame the Jew, right?
Every freaking time. You keep laughing because the only place you can be able to live is Mars, you clown. The whole world is tired of you.
I mean, Jimmy, you have to give it to him. He's so funny.
No, it's very comical. And the whole problem is, this is the problem.
You were kicked out of.
The problem is, this is the problem. Shut the fuck up, okay, goof, while I talk, okay? Now, I let you speak. This is the problem. They think they're winning this propaganda narrative, but if anybody dares to click on a link, you know, when it says Free Palestine and all that bullshit, go into the comments and watch how many people are sick and tired of these motherfuckers. Sick and tired. And watch what's going to happen to them. Just how he just spit that hate rhetoric about Nazis and that Hitler didn't do enough and all that shit. They're all going to be either arrested, and they murder each other, that's what we know, right? It's not going to be a good end for them. But I don't have to belittle myself or lower myself to threaten you. You're doing it to yourself. That's the problem. And then you say that you debated over 100 people on this app and you've won. You've only talked without breathing. You'd probably be good at eating pussy. You might get a date because the way you can talk, without breathing. I heard you talk for like 3 minutes straight. It was impressive. I don't know if you were a swimmer or something, but you got really good lung control. You don't know how to debate because you don't know how. Shut the fuck up.
How am I going to get arrested?
Lower you. I'm going to drop the whole stage. Pardon?
You're a clown.
How am I going to get arrested?
Free speech.
No, that's the problem. The problem is you don't understand the difference between free speech and hate speech, and there's a fine line and there's a responsibility that you still have to have while trying to keep your hate rhetoric.
For what I said. Tell me.
Keep talking.
So how am I getting arrested for what I said?
Keep talking and I'll point it out.
Bibi,
I already said what I said.
Let me talk to
Keep
you.
talking.
You already said what I said.
Because I'm pretty sure you just met us in this room right now, and I'm pretty sure, and you're probably extremely violent. You probably said way worse things to other people.
Marcus, you said that you love Hitler. Am I correct?
I love that motherfucker. I do.
So, have you been to Germany?
Oh wait, hold on. You know how many black people Hitler killed? Hold on. You don't speak Hebrew, bro, so stop trying.
I do.
No, you don't. Listen. So let me guess, your BHI. How many people did Hitler? How many black people did Hitler kill? How many black people did Hitler kill?
Hey, guess what?
How many you love Hitler, you just said. How many black people did Hitler kill? How many black men and women did Hitler kill?
I'll tell you. Guess what? How many people did Bibi kill?
No. I have a question. So you said that you love Hitler and you have never been to Germany. Have you ever tried saying this statement in Germany? So I want to know if you have done
It's
it.
an irrelevant question. I don't have to be in Germany to love the guy. Okay, I can appreciate what he did. You have to understand, everywhere you guys go,
You
appreciate what he did.
children.
In Germany,
everything.
free speech. Germany has free speech, even freer than the United States. If you come to Germany and say that
how am I getting arrested for what I said? Answer the question. How am I getting arrested for what I said? Switch what you said.
Keep talking.
It's
I am
illegal.
going to keep talking.
Okay.
Listen.
Keep talking.
2,000 years ago, you guys hijacked an ethnicity and a religion that doesn't belong to. Actually, I should say religion, not an ethnicity.
Oh, I already know. But this guy's a BHI. This guy's a BHI. No, he's a black Israelite. So they're beyond brainwashed.
I was really hoping he would answer the question about how many blacks did Hitler kill, because I don't even know. I'm curious.
He can't. He's just talking to talk.
Yeah, he answered the question with a question.
He ran away?
Yeah, he's not here.
Yeah, he ran away. He couldn't answer like that. The other guy, they usually answer a question with a question. They deflect. They cannot argue for shit, and they have nothing to back their arguments. And even though I'm not Jewish myself, I studied shit. Even my opponent's point. And these guys were talking shit. Like, they have nothing to back themselves up.
Yeah, that was a lot of blah, 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 blah.
I was just sitting back listening to all that, thinking to myself, I mean, I know the answer, but the fact that people are so obsessed with Jews is just it's so odd. It's disturbing on so many levels. It's damn near comical, too. It's like, the rage is just, it's mind-boggling to me.
It's real.
Wait, was he talking? I thought he was just spitting all over his microphone to clean his phone.
He's practicing for his Grindr account. Oh, he's back. That's how obsessed he is. Yeah, I'll let you up, but you can answer. How many black people Hitler killed?
Because Marcus has let me double check, the lone black woman on the stage. I'd like to know the answer to this too. How many blacks did Hitler kill? Because I've always heard it was none, but I know that can't be right. So if you're going to go on and on and on about Israel and terrorism and Hamas and blah, 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 and you appear to be black in your PTR, and you say you love Hitler, tell us educate me, how many black people did Hitler kill? I'm curious to know.
He won't come up now.
Yeah.
You heard a strong black woman
Trying to Google something.
He heard a strong black woman speak, so he's intimidated. I even took off the hand raising for his loathing ass. I'll put it back on. I can bring him back up.
See, the problem is, what's the point of this room? What was the point of the room yesterday? What's the point of the room tomorrow? I mean, what's the point of this room right now?
Because we're just gathered to have conversations, just fun conversations about about anything. Let's talk about life. But I think we can do that without being hateful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I've been listening for like 20 minutes now. I was just wondering when anybody's ever actually going to say anything intelligent related to the title.
We did do that for about an hour.
We did do that for 2 hours, yeah. Mm-hmm. We were talking of beautiful things, and I came in off guard because, we're around children, and I wasn't ready to fucking get into it with somebody, so yeah. But, what was the point of you, John, going blah, 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 blah in the microphone? What was that point? Tell me.
I was just repeating back the stuff that I listened to for about the past 20, 30 minutes. That's all.
Oh, okay. I'm still curious, man. Let me do a simple grok. How many black people
YouTube censorship
were
can't
killed
agree being censored. Hashtag by left-wing extremist Democrats on a platform.
or through the Nazi. Let's see. Curious. Let's see. Hold on. I remember the number, but I don't. I want to make sure. Okay, 220,000 to 500,000. That was not centralized systemically extermination program specifically aimed to exterminating all black people. Instead, the persecution involved discrimination, social exclusion, forced sterilization, imprisonment, forced labor. So you love Hitler, and he did that. He did that. The black.
Hitler wouldn't have loved him.
That's the problem. That's the problem. These people love the people. Like, if this fucking clown walked into Gaza tomorrow, he'd be lynched just for the color of his skin. And he's booty clapping for them. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah. What can you do? You can't change certain
And
laws.
it's funny, they always scream, European, fucking go back to Europe. I was born in Africa, you fucking clown.
Well, at what point do you think you'll realize that you're wasting your time?
I'm not, because I had meaningful conversation today. I got to know
really, sir?
People on the app.
When did you think you'll realize that you're wasting
your time? My heart tingled. I got to shine a little bit of light. I played prayers this morning in my room. I played music. It made my world a better place.
John, as a guy with like 60 phones, I think that's a really good question to ask you. At what point in time will you realize that you're wasting a lot of your fucking time? Way more than I'm wasting.
You know, what's interesting is one of my phones, I've been using it so long, the actual, YouTube background is burned into the face of the phone. And I am utterly amazed that these phones can even do what they're doing. So when the phones burn out, when the money burns out, when the light burns out, that's when I'll know that I have completed my mission. My point is to make phones.
Do you don't think that people that are, like, for your campaign, that they're going to start asking, like, I found you on YouTube and you're recording rooms and they hear you talking, do you think that they're going to start questioning the mental stability? I'm not putting you down. I actually like having.
No, I think my ideas and my opinions and my analysis is absolutely accurate. Therefore, I'm not worried or ashamed about anything I've ever said on this app, sir. I think people who are recorded acting like animals on this app should be ashamed of their behavior and the words they say.
So you don't think people are going to think you're violating people's privacy? And you keep asking every time you come into the room, like, what's the point? And that's a good point Mike asked. You have 60 points.
You think I'm worried about violating people's privacy while they make death threats here on this
I don't
app?
think you're worried about it at all. I don't think you care about anybody's privacy. But my whole point is you ask one room, what's your point? Well, you're recording with 60 phones.
I mean, John, I can tell you that Clubhouse has occupied fuck tons of more time for you than me. Fuck tons more. Probably 10 to 10.
I know, but see,
so every time you say that, I like you personally as well.
Mike,
but
I'm
every
here.
Every time you say that stupid conversations are happening or why we're all wasting our time, it just reeks as absolute complete hypocrisy because you're like the spitting image of the worst case scenario of Clubhouse usage. It's crazy. Like, where do you even come off thinking that somehow you're not part of that systemic issue that you constantly talk about? I just don't understand.
Oh, many of you may not know who I am. I am an artist. an actor, a producer, a filmmaker. You are just critics. I'm a true artist. You can go to my YouTube channel to check out my YouTube channels. I hope you enjoy videos of you, the critics.
Can I have your autograph, please?
I love you, man. I love you. You're a total fucking weirdo. You make me feel really normal, and not very many people can do that, John.
I just wanted to tell you something, Bibi. I mean, as an Iranian, of course, I have faced a lot of trolls online, and I know what they do, especially a lot of them are paid by our government. But specifically when I looked at this person, you got angry over, like, he's an idiot, of course, but he's a troll. I mean, he has 4 friends. He thinks that we should get rid of all vaccines, throw them all out together. And, I mean, he's a troll. Don't pollute your blood. I mean, there is a saying in Persian, we say don't pollute your blood. But, I mean, by allowing these kind of people get under your skin. And he was just reading from a script. If anybody paid attention earlier, he was just rambling and reading from a script, and he was not even thinking what he was reading. And it doesn't make sense, so don't get angry. I mean, we had a really good discussion, so maybe next time we can just kick them off of speakers or something.
Yeah.
Also about, Africans who resided in Germany. There is a place called Rheinland, and as far as I know this from one of my Kenyan friends. She said there were around 300 to 400 people that were sterilized in that place alone. So, I mean, yeah, Nazi Germany was a fucked up place to live in.
I would love to talk about life, breath, being at peace, feeling great, not having any pain in the body, having good food, access to sunlight and a gym, maybe a beach, maybe a boat. I'm talking about the good life, ladies and gentlemen.
So, are we going to talk about life right now, or?
I mean, John's here, so people are probably reluctant. Happy Toxic Tuesday, y'all. Hello, Yakov. Did I say that right?
Do I know you?
Yakov!
No, I don't think so.
I accept no credit, I take no blame.
See, you
How
know...
do you not know serendipity, Yakov? You guys haven't met in rooms in here? How can that possibly be? I don't know. You know, there's probability and there's possibility, so...
Guys, I have to show you guys a picture.
met J-Lo in real life, so I'm gonna PTR the picture of when I met J-Lo.
Never shows her picture, so ask for permission.
Can anyone tell me what the word life spells backwards and how it sounds? Does it sound like evil to you?
It does, but I mean, if you want to talk about evil, you have to reverse the word love. Then you will find the real evil.
Oh, the opposite of evil is love!
Evil.
Yep. Indifference.
Indifference, exactly. Indifference.
Mm-hmm.
Indifference? Is that what love means? Really? Indifferent? I'm feeling indifferent to you right now. You might say it's love.
It's an emotion. The opposite of love, which is an emotion, is indifference. No emotion.
No, I was talking about wordplay, because you were having a wordplay with life. So I was saying if you reverse love, you will find something even more interesting.
Okay, guys, PTR. This is...
Thank you, Maddie. So my point here is that in life, you can't actually remove the evil from the equation, now can you?
Danny? How come you tend to not
What, Jaya?
I was trying to say that the Tanya, the sacred Jewish book of wisdom.
Helps not show the lines.
Helps what?
Not show the lines.
Ah.
All I'm saying is, the man that killed Charlie Kirk is evil. Charlie Kirk was life and was good.
Charlie Clerk.
Charlie Kirk. Can you not hear me, Yakov? Go get your Wi-Fi turned down. I'm not finished here either. Don't interrupt. We're at 350 signatures for the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. We only need 500 more, and I'm sure we're going to get it. So everyone who donated, you're getting a VIP exclusive invite to our March
district
to honor the campaign donors, Yakov, that paid for the people in the district to go get the signatures on the petitions. I said don't interrupt, Yakov. Hold all questions to the end, young man. I'm not finished here, Yakov.
Are you getting to... You need a certain number of people to sign to be on...
Don't interrupt, Yakov. Hold all your questions to the end, Yakov.
Yakov, he never shuts up.
Just hold your questions to the end, Yakov.
He's gonna be...
You know what rhymes with Yakov?
Congressman.
You know what rhymes with Yakov?
Now tell me, let me use your wide imagination. What rhymes?
So as I was saying, we're just a few hundred signatures away from getting on this March 17th petition ballot, and I want to let everybody know here on Clown House who donated. The biggest donors, Hikima. Can you believe it? Hikima and JB, two of the biggest donors to their campaign. And I can't thank you enough. And Danny, our crisis actress. Great work, Danny. Good job.
I got to meet J-Lo, look.
Wow, Danny.
What character is that? I am not up on my cartoon characters.
I don't know, but I met them.
Layla, where'd you get that from?
Clown Academy. I went out on a date with a girl once. She told me she actually went to Clown University. I said, "You've downloaded Clown House?"
Someone dated you?
Yeah. We went to this beautiful bar
she
called
was a clown in
Stereo.
action?
She literally took out a $45,000 loan to go to comedy college. I was like, really?
You can't just do that for free.
That's hilarious. You took out a loan and now you got to file bankruptcy because you went to a comedy college? That's hilarious.
You can throw tomatoes
That's a
at
joke
me
in
for
itself.
free.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? She took out $45,000 to go to comedy college. Second City University.
I actually have
a third city now.
I have a question from Jaya. So, am I pronouncing it correctly? Or?
It's pronounced Jaya.
Jaya, okay. So, Jaya, are you promoting a campaign or something?
Yes, this is candidate Congressman John Kitover. I'm running in the 16th District of Illinois against Darren LaHood for the Republican primary on March 17th. Go to johnforcongress.com.
You were thanking people for their donations, so I was wondering if you're live streaming this or...
Yeah, of course. Everything I do, I film. Why would I be here if I'm not recording what I'm doing? What a waste of time that would be. I'm running for Congress, and we're live streaming the whole campaign from my bedroom office. Isn't that exciting? The first congressman on YouTube. Wow, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We live streamed our way into the halls of Congress, and we're not gonna stop.
I mean, it would be very hard.
And we're not gonna stop.
Gathered...
We're just gonna keep live streaming and filming as much as we can for the constituents, Mary, for the people of America, for you, for Clown World.
Nice, and I wanted to ask you if you have found a lot of donators or a lot of followers here who are going to vote for you.
You know what rhymes with donators?
I mean, have you found a lot of followers on Clubhouse, like people who are going to vote for you?
Oh yeah, we've been using Clubhouse in the campaign. Everybody who's been getting petitions has to go through the same onboarding process, and we have somebody else who actually wants to onboard as well today. We were supposed to do it at 1 o'clock, but he didn't text me, so. People's schedules change, people's priorities change. It's the same everywhere, whether you're in the government or at a corporation or you're sitting in a hospice. It's all about priorities.
And how many people are you running against?
We are running against about 5 people. The incumbent Republican Darren LaHood, as well as another Republican and about 4 Democrats. But really 2 Republicans, because this is to find out who is the king of the Clubhouse Republicans, aka the 16th District. We're here to find out. And it took grassroots efforts from people here on Clown House to help this campaign. We can't thank them enough, whether they wanted to or they didn't want to. Most people don't want to do anything. So what can you do but herd them into gates, open up a door and say, go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. That's it. That's all you can really do half the time. What kind of work do you do, Mary?
Well,
she works for Darren's campaign.
You work for Darren's campaign? Oh, you must know Dr. Adams and Matt Cool. They're too cool for school with their White America rooms every day where they drop the N-word casually and joke about it like little kids. They're pathetic. I'm not saying everybody's pathetic. I'm just saying when I say read a book and go to the gym, it's projection.
has anybody told you that?
No, part of self-governance and personal responsibility is reminding yourself by reminding others to go to the gym and read a book.
And I mean, I'm sorry for asking this because this is very unusual, but you are serious about this, and this is not a joke. Am I right?
I know, it's hard to believe. He's actually serious.
Oh, this is not a joke, Mary. You can go to johnforcongress.com. I mean, I'm on all the platforms across multiple accounts. This is 100% a real campaign, and if we get on the primary, there's a good chance we actually win. People are that disgusted with Darren LaHood and his leadership as a Republican congressperson, so I could be the Republican replacement in waiting. Jaya, a.k.a. John Kitover.
I think a lot of Republicans love the color, I would say, navy blue. And so maybe you can change your shirt. It will, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think you will gather more followers that way.
Oh, I agree. We take a photo every day. That was just Friday night's photo. So I want to remind everybody that the debt per citizen has doubled in just 7 years. Funded debt has doubled in 7 years, 150,000 to 300,000 in 7 years for every taxpayer here in America. It only took us 7 years to double up, everybody.
It's unfortunate though that those guys had to come in the room though. I apologize to everybody. I'm a shit maker.
See, if you want a hard reset, you know, and flush the toilet, it only takes a poem.
Has anybody ever campaigned on YouTube and won?
Oh, maybe you don't follow politics, but have you seen what AOC does? Have you seen what anybody does? It's all YouTube all the time, Instagram all the time. I don't even know if do you even look at anything? Have you seen politics today?
No, I don't follow AOC. I mean, if your campaign is targeting social media, a lot of users are Gen Z and they're on TikTok. So I guess maybe you aren't there, active there.
Maybe you've heard of this platform called X by Elon Musk. I don't know. I know a lot of Democrats are in here.
As an Iranian, I have definitely have grown up with X or Twitter. So yeah. But to be honest, I don't think you will gather a lot of followers here on Clubhouse. But I mean, it's okay. I mean, you do you, and I wish you the best.
What makes you think I haven't had tens of thousands of followers on this app, Mary? Who the hell are you?
Nobody.
Exactly. Well, I'm just saying life is opinion and the universe is transformation.
So is that you, the anonymous, that's in the audience, and then you're on stage as well?
Yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel to see how I'm filming everything over here. Again, I'm a filmmaker, politician, an actor, an artist. Got many roles, many titles.
Respectfully, can you not record?
Do not record me without my permission.
People that are
Do not record me without my permission.
Make your campaign progress.
Do not record me without my permission.
Politician I want.
You know, I just wrote a new song. It goes like this. Do not record me without my permission. Do not record me without my permission. You see it?
That's one of the movies.
His job because since he started talking, more than half of people left this room.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but he's recording it in the bus. But how you stop that is you do this.
Boom!
To be honest, I thought that he was a joker. Like,
Because the song's copyrighted.
BB! Counter surveillance, counter intel proing me. Oh man, too funny. Bro, fuck ABC. What? Fuck ABC. What the fuck is this shit?
We have seen an alleged murder with.
Oh god. Puke. gonna play a couple little Let's try to find copyright-free ohm. Is he still going? BB can talk all day.
Yeah. 1 second.
Thank you.
It's not true. It's a very small percent.
I'll send you a picture of it because it's in Hebrew. But I'll send you it right now. I just sent it to you in your back channel. It's a Yaga.
The United States is a renegade country. Maybe we don't feel like that on the inside of the country, but I'm in a situation where I don't hear gunshots. And I know that people may not hear them generally in some parts of, I don't want to name any particular states, but because gun violence is everywhere in the United States, it actually really is, done by different people. But there's something that's been going on in the United States for a long time. It goes back way before I was born, because there was a handgun. The use of guns in the United States society and before the U.S. in the Americas, came with the Europeans, basically. But there was a gun that some people may remember called the Saturday Night Special. And I've always wondered, where did this horrific name? Obviously, I think it pretty much implies that people used this gun to settle scores on Saturday nights, which is very sad. But I remember growing up hearing about pistols being called Saturday Night Special. This was like from the media. This was not from people that I knew personally. And my grandfather was a homicide detective. He was a police officer. But this particular situation, okay. I've worked in human rights and elections. I worked in Bosnia. I worked in a place called Srebrenica. I remember one time, well, it was not in Srebrenica, but in another community, another village nearby, where U.S. military was responsible for that part of Bosnia. This goes back to the immediate post-war time, and they had the S-4 troops from NATO, stabilization force, they're called. And so I happened to be in a sector that was U.S. military, S-4 troops. And I'm working in the local municipal building with the local people. They're trying to reestablish their local government. And the main part of that was to reestablish the ability to vote, which I'm talking about November 4th, because that's at the heart. Everything that is at the heart, to show up to vote because you care, because you understand that's all they ask of you as a citizen. Well, not only that, but actually you need to run for office too, and you need to know what the issues are. But anyway, so these American soldiers come through on their patrol, and Lord have mercy, but this one soldier, he was carrying a firearm. The local people freaked out. They did not, I don't know how to describe it, but because they had just come out of an armed conflict where neighbors killed each other, a civil war. And it was against the rules of S4. They were not supposed to bring firearms into buildings on their patrol, but this dude did, a young white American soldier. And everybody in the building noticed it. We are immune. We are not immune, impervious. We have forgotten something. To even talk about murder by gun, I don't care if it's hunting rifle or whatever. But the United States is off the track. And I had a total stranger, Scottish white man, on a plane flight in Africa. Some years ago, this man, he decided to chat me up. I'm sitting by the window, the dude sits beside me. He started talking to me in the terminal, which is a regional terminal, and not an international flight, not a long flight. Nice person. And the dude says, when he finds out I live in Italy also, he says, well, you better stay in Italy because there's going to be a race war.
But what does this have to do with the question of whether the motive is necessary?
This kind of violence, I can't deal, Gary, I think to me, to my ear, it was sounding like you're doing both sidesism. And that's far from the way it actually is. It's so far. As a child, I witnessed 4 political assassinations, was it? President Kennedy, Malcolm X. Some people wouldn't count, but he counts.
So you're kind of making the point that I've been trying to make by suggesting that we have to tally up how many political assassinations were made of people on the left, and how many political assassinations have been made of people on the right, and that will give us a clear picture of where the ill is in our society. So if more people on the left,
me and one other black girl, we integrated our junior high and high school in Pennsylvania, and it's like so Republican and stuff. Some of these kids, I mean, I knew these people. They were not all friends of mine. And some of them were not interested in being friends with me because I was a black person. And here we are.
We know that there's racism that is ingrained in our society.
It's beyond that. It's beyond that. What it is, and Nancy McLean's book, Democracy in Chains, the deep history of the radical right's stealth plan for America.
So just to sum up, it does matter, and what matters is that the right is the dirty side of the aisle, because that's where all this is coming from. Is that your argument?
Okay. What I'm saying is that, as some people say, because I vote, but I just, it's really, this is like so complicated, so complex. But we have a 34-time convicted felon in the White House.
We know all that, but that's not what we're here to discuss today. We've discussed that ad nauseum on this stage. The question is, and if you could focus on the question, you said that you saw the title of the room and it prompted a vacuum. You said that you saw the title of the room and it prompted you to come up on the stage, and thus far, unless I was
invited on the stage. I was invited on the stage.
That's fine. I'm just saying, I don't know how you got on the stage, whether you were invited on the stage or whether you raised your hand. Great. That's great. It doesn't matter to me whether you were invited or not.
You spent 8 minutes. I didn't finish what I was saying, but if this is the end of it, then I'll shut my mouth.
I'm not asking you to shut your mouth. I'm asking to try to bring this around and focus at the topic at hand, not whether Donald Trump is a felon.
Because this is not about this Robinson. You know, what's his name?
What is it about? What is it about? Tell me very succinctly right now.
It's about the breakdown of the United States. And right now, we're talking about a breakdown on the right, because this was not somebody from the left that shot this fellow.
Okay, you know that. You know that. You know that. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Judge Luttig, his own grandmother talked about the situation.
How do you know that? How do you know? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Have the FBI investigate it. But let me make one more point, and then I'm going to leave it alone, because you want to see it a certain way. And
no, it's not that I want to see it a certain way. I want you to address the issue.
Does not count.
I want you to address the issue.
Luttig told us, Judge Luttig said in the summer of 2022, after the January 6th killings, they were killings too, but the attack on the Capitol, where I used to work, he said that Donald Trump and his supporters and allies are a clear and present danger to Americans.
And that's why Charlie Kirk is dead today.
Yes, because he's part of that whole thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So he was a victim of it. He was a victim of his support for the evil Republican.
Well, you know, somebody quoted what he said about George Floyd, which was so tragic.
I quoted what he said about George Floyd, by the way.
No, I didn't hear. I'm talking about something I read earlier.
I quoted it yesterday. I don't remember whether it was on.
I wasn't here yesterday. I'm talking about something I saw.
I'm just saying that I recognize that. So your argument is.
I'm talking to you. There's other people on here too.
I know that, Marion. Quit being so contentious.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. As best as I can tell, Marion just illustrated the problem. She knows for a fact that the right is responsible for all the evil in the United States. And I'm sure some come up to the stage and say that they know for a fact that the left is responsible for the evil in the United States. That's the problem, in my humble opinion. That's not to say that the points that Marion raised are not accurate. I'm not saying that, and I don't want to be represented in my admonishment of the discourse. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that she's got it in her mind, and maybe she's right, that all the problems of our society come from the right, just like Donald Trump and his followers have it in their mind, and maybe they're right, that all problems of society come from the left. And so long as we continue to do this finger pointing, and you're wrong, no, you're wrong, we're never going to resolve the problem. And I really fear that there will be more political violence in our society. That's my Nostradamus prediction. I'm not qualified to do so, but that's my fear anyway. Dude.
Hi, Gary. I just want to start off saying I love people who identify as Republican, and I also love people that identify as Democrat.
You're trying to play both sides, dude. How can you do that?
Well, it has to do with love and compassion, I guess, and common good, a common ground. The common ground would be the country, right? And the democracy works in a healthy way when people actually share common ground and have compassion for one another and actually work together, even through their differences. Actually, it's interesting. I heard from older generations growing up that that the youth has lost the ability to sit down at the table and have a coffee and not get upset or storm off or call the other person names. It seems like it's not even a generational problem anymore, that it's like a common problem, that people in all generations who are indoctrinated and partisan treat each other terribly. And it's interesting how many people identify as having religious views, or even just how many people do not identify as having religious views, yet both seem to when it comes to the right and left religion that they are supporting, they seem to act just like religious hypocrites, indoctrinated religious hypocrites who have no love or compassion for the common citizen.
To your point, dude, if you don't mind me interjecting.
That's all my point is that.
I just want to underscore and illustrate this with something that happened yesterday. Okay, thank you very much. I hate that when I go to this website, it talks. I didn't ask this website to talk. Shut up. Right. Oh my God! Stop! I stopped and it's still talking. Okay. What you're hearing in the background is Cornel West, the esteemed professor, former candidate for President of the United States, storming off the set with Piers Morgan during a debate on the death of Charlie Kirk. There's your prime example of exactly what you're talking about, dude.
100%.
He couldn't handle it. How could a guy like Cornel West not handle Piers Morgan? How can Piers Morgan and Cornel West, a professor at Princeton, not have a civil discussion over the issue to the point that Cornel West gets so frustrated that he storms off the set? Isn't Princeton supposed to be an Ivy League university, one of the top universities in the country? Harvard, Princeton. I think isn't that right? Is Harvard supposed to be the top and Princeton supposed to be the next most esteemed university in the country? And a guy of the stature of Cornel West can't handle Piers Morgan? Whatever you thought about Charlie Kirk, he certainly can handle a debate without storming off like that. Just saying. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, it shows a lack of emotional intelligence. I'll just land
I
there.
think so. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Thank you, dude. King, you're up.
Yeah, so I do understand why Cornel West would have stormed off. This has been a very difficult conversation to have, particularly with people who, again, lack of empathy, refusing to put themselves in another person's shoes, and their understanding of the environment, the rhetorical environment that all of this is surrounded by. And I'm not talking about from a partisanship perspective. I know that Cornel West has 2 kids, and one of his good friends, he has a well-known friendship with another scholar, Robert P. George, who is a profound conservative intellectual. I also know that Charlie Kirk and Cornel West have had engagements, personal engagements. I've heard them talk about their personal interactions over the last couple of days. But I'm sure that at the time he was probably trying to, I can only imagine, but I would guess that he was having a conversation about some of the words that have been spoken and why they are or are not problematic as it relates to marginalized groups. But I do agree with you that the motive doesn't really matter because, well, firstly, like I said, I don't think this is an issue of partisanship. The pattern that we've been seeing with young men, radicalized young men, lashing out because of the nihilistic indoctrination they've received online, is the through line. The same day that that young man shot Charlie Kirk, another young man shot up a school. 2 weeks before that, somebody else shot up another school. And this has been going on, right?
I have thoughts about the partisan leaning that some of this indoctrination comes from, because I know of the Andrew Tates. I know about some of the messaging that have been reaching children as young as in junior high or middle school. A conversation that's starting to happen now online is that the parents of young people are looking at their kids like, okay, what do you know about a Groyper? What do you know about these people? I've never heard of Charlie Kirk. I've never heard of Nick Fuentes. And they're asking their children, and they're floored because their children are very aware of the memes. They've been exposed, is what I'm saying. And all of these new terms that these parents had no clue about or what they meant, the children are well versed in this. Some of those kids are going to fall deeper into those rabbit holes because of the algorithms, right? And it doesn't even matter the platform. There was a time where people felt more vulnerable going into places like the deep web. But people are being radicalized through TikToks and YouTube and Instagram, and the algorithms are playing a part in this. And so I think that is a way that people from a partisan's perspective can find some commonality about, because there are a lot of parents who are worried about the things in that their kids are being indoctrinated with as it relates to violence and retrograde ideas. Like one of the moms was talking about how what sparked her to ask her daughter, was she aware of these things, is because somebody in her class was suspended for standing up and saying Hitler was right. And so it provoked this conversation that wouldn't have otherwise happened with this parent and her daughter, right? And so I think that's the larger issue. And I think I'm willing to bet that, this person, like the other person who shot on campus, even though it was a high school campus, also have been exposed to this radicalization. And I think that we need to wake up and take our heads out of our asses as the adults and stop making it about us, or, because we know that both parties have their issues, both ideologies. Any ideology can be turned into something violent and terrible, right? For everyone that talks about, religion, we know that religion even has been used to perpetrate violence on other people. So it's really not about the partisanship. It's, in my opinion, it's about just the fact, the degree of radicalization that is happening amongst young children, and they're growing up with these ideas that are totally retrograde, and that everybody is clueless, and they have access to guns, right? So they have an arsenal, as well as the seeds of violence planted into their worldview, combined with a lot of hopelessness, a lot of confusion, and just a lot of hormones, So I do agree. I don't think that the motive matters that much. I think that there's a bigger issue, and because this can be used politically, that's why the motive is being as emphasized as it is. It's because this motive is being used as justification to clamp down on rights and speech and a whole lot of other freedoms freedoms that we've taken for granted up to this point. So I'll yield there.
Thank you, King. Brian.
Hi, Gary. Does the motive matter? I think it could if anybody cared. I think his motive, if it was analyzed by someone who cared, could cause maybe someone to look into why he did it and see if there was any corrections that might be made in the future to help prevent something like that from happening again. When Charlie was assassinated, there was so much blowback on social media that it kind of, I don't know what the word is, kind of incensed me in a way, because I was just learning what happened and didn't even know who Charlie was, but there was this blowback of people were blaming the left and there was so much I don't know how to describe it, just kind of blowback toward the left, and everybody was blaming them before the guy was caught, and really before the news story was out everywhere. So I don't think that any motive is going to change people's minds, and especially when like Scott and so many people already mentioned that the president and Attorney General and all these major players on the right, or I should say MAGA, have it ingrained that it's the left. I think in a way that they're going to capitalize on that as much as they can leading into the midterms. It's going to with that and the gerrymandering, I think they're doing whatever they can to try and save and gain seats. Unfortunately, I think that's going to cause the problem to exasperate. I think it's just a matter of time before something else happens again, especially if we don't change course on the way people are talking. And I'm admitting that the blowback eventually went both ways, because it got real ugly as people was quoting Charlie and that type of thing. It's just an ugly situation that just does not seem to be to de-escalate. But I there's been some good comments so far, and I really don't have much to add. But thanks.
Thank you, Brian. Chris.
Damn it, Gary. How are you today, Gary?
Damn it, Chris. I'm doing fine.
Well, you ain't got to use your black accent, but I appreciate it. At least I know that you hip. Hey, putting King and Brian in front of me is kind of the cheat code on shutting Chris up soon. Because a lot of the things I wanted to talk about has been said, and gratefully so. So let's get straight to it, so I'm not here wasting anybody else's time. Does Robinson's motive even matter? Yes, it does, to both sides, actually. Unfortunately, the investigation that we'll get will be skewed. The FBI working the case will be skewed. And that means motives will matter for the respected administration. Why? Because they can push the narrative that makes them happier. They can push the narrative, as Brian said, that can push them into midterms with a strong base, or try to find a strong base in the sake of a death. Which, I hate to say it, with how fast they moved as soon as the man's death was announced, they played their hand so fast that it was too obvious that you guys had ulterior motives on his death regardless. It could have been anybody from the right at this point, from the way that they're moving. They would have found a way to utilize it for their gain. Now, poor sorry Charlie Kirk and his family, yeah, great. I'm there for you all. Whatever well wishes you want to send to them, I respect. But the way that the administration, who said that they were friends of Charlie Kirk, decided on utilizing Charlie Kirk's death in the aftermath to turn things into a hate-filled push, an agenda, and a distraction from what we previously seen coming down the pipeline, from the gerrymandering, which was funny that you mentioned that. I believe that was Brian, because the gerrymandering has been looked over. Why? Because we have a new topic on our television screens. The same goes for the Epstein files. The Epstein files are now on the back burner. Why? Because we have to figure out about all these bad apples talking bad about Charlie Kirk. And guess what? Our Congress agreed. The Congress just pushed that stuff right out the back door and said, we'll figure that out eventually, if not ever.
because now we have a bigger fish to fry. People are being mean about Charlie. So the motives do matter for the right. Now let's get to the left. The motives matter for the left too, because I'm not one of those people that says, well, they're playing it on both sides, because obviously the rhetoric that's being pushed on from the right is way more detrimental than the rhetoric that's been pushing on the left, and we'll get to that here shortly. But the left can also utilize from this. The left needs to utilize from this because, yes, we don't have all the information. We don't know if just because he had a right-leaning family that he was actually on the right. But what we do know is that the right decided to pull war out as soon as they could. And the left should be speaking to that. Hey, who are they at war with? The left should be speaking to the fact that who are the right declaring war on? Who are they upset with? They have every single aspect of government. They even have the Supreme Court in their pocket. And we can honestly say that with a straight face. The Supreme Court has done a lot of damage in the name of Donald Trump, the president. Let him do it. So the motives here just strictly goes back to, on the left side, hey, these guys said that this was a left-leaning thing. They said that the left is the danger. It's the left's job to point the picture.
Well, the president said specifically the Democrats.
Yes, I mean, everybody on the right. I mean, literally, you could have turned on Fox News before you even seen the president, and it was already, the message was already out. I'm going to say that again. The message behind Charlie Kirk's death was out before Charlie Kirk's death. And the only way I can put that and say that in the way with so much vigor and understanding that I have a way more chance to being right than wrong is because the message was instant.
Yeah, and Charlie Kirk, by the way, is by all accounts to this point, this may change, was apolitical in terms of partisan politics. Something to take into consideration.
But the message, by the way, was instant. It took no time to get out the message across the Republican pundits that it's the right's fault, regardless of the information we had.
The left's fault, yeah.
Well, yes, the left's fault. I'm sorry. I do apologize. The left's fault that all of this stuff falls victim to. Before we knew who the guy was, before we even knew the video of him jumping off the back of the building in the Converses, before we realized that he broken down a gun in less than 2 seconds, we found out that it was all the Democrats' problem. That they pushed it and they pushed this and we need to go to war because it's time. Now, let's get back to the last point I wanted to make. Is exactly what Brian said. Man, King and Brian was cooking. And it might have been King that said this, but I want to give them both shout out for stating the fact that all this stuff is went underneath the radar of parents, of grown adults who consume politics on a daily basis. Okay? Let's understand how well they hid Charlie Kirk in plain sight. Let's understand how algorithmic they was able to hide Charlie Kirk and his message.
What do you mean they were hiding his message? I don't get the point.
What I mean by they were hiding his message, and I don't put a they with a person or a party. I'm saying Charlie was infectious to children. He was talking about who are you, and adults did not know that Charlie Kirk was talking to the youth. Remember when they had that? This is a whole problem. Let me give you an example, Gary.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. This is a whole problem that we have generationally with some people not understanding that what to them is a legacy way of getting information out. There's a whole different, like people said to, in fact, somebody I know in her 30s asked me, what's Discord? She's already too old to know what Discord is. So there are so many different ways of getting information out. Yes, the older generation, probably many, I mean, how many people came up to the each year and said, I've never heard of Charlie Kirk?
And I think that's a terrible thing, but I do also understand and I sympathize with those people because a lot of those people are just not in the bubble of information, and that's fine. But go right ahead, because I do have a point that I want to make.
No, I'm just trying to explain why that is. Go ahead.
Okay, going back to my point, we all have to remember there was a time where they had children cartoons on YouTube, but in those same children cartoons, they had messages in those children cartoons with the little scary face thing that used to tell the kids to kill their parents and harm themselves. There was a cartoon on YouTube. If you are a parent, you may know this. That they had in the cartoons they were putting hidden messages in. It was, I forgot what the Blippy or whatever the thing was called. But it was a true message being pushed to the youth. But the parents had no clue because they just give the kids the cartoons or the iPad. The iPad eventually puts it all in algorithmic, and it works on the children. We have to be more understanding on what and Gary, but the last thing, because you brought a great point, but I want to make sure I don't let this skip over. The Charlie Kirk situation wasn't just something that was undertoned by Charlie Kirk to push to the children. He had investors. He had backing. Somebody knew this message was getting pushed to Charlie.
Okay, so now you just taught me something that I didn't know. And I acknowledge.
I know you Googled it.
I acknowledge that I went to ChatGPT, and they reference the Wikipedia. And what it says is, and I was unaware of this. So there were disturbing child-targeted videos on YouTube and YouTube Kids.
Yep.
They contain hidden or spliced-in scenes,
yep,
urging self-harm or showing extreme violence.
Bang, bang!
And a number of parent reports and tabloids also circulated claims that some clips contain messages encouraging kids to harm others, including their parents.
Hey.
Major investigations in 2017 through 2019 documented the broader problem known online as ElsaGate. I don't know how I missed this.
Hey, Gary, don't worry, because people missed Charlie Kirk too, and this man already passed away.
And related phenomena, and showed that malicious actors were slipping grotesque or instructional content into videos that looked child friendly. Holy freaking
Hey, Gary,
crap.
I'm going to jump off of this bridge with this one. Hey, I want you to also understand Charlie Kirk was doing something very similar. He was pushing a message behind the Christian belief.
Well, I don't know whether it was behind a Christian belief or not, but let me just say that whenever Charlie Kirk went onto a college campus and engaged in these debates, where, by the way, he overwhelmed the 17 and 18-year-old people who
because they're unknowledgeable. They're children.
And he would often point out, I never went to college.
Yeah,
I never went to college. And he was like Rush Limbaugh used to say, that he could debate you with one arm tied behind his back, kind of thing. That's what Charlie Kirk was doing. But he always had, and by the way, I'm not saying this critically, I'm saying that this was brilliant. He always had camera crews, plural, there. And they would extrapolate from these long exchanges 20-second clips that went on TikTok and Instagram, and that's how he propagandized his message. He was absolutely brilliant at it, but that's what was going on.
All right, Gary, I'm at the home run. This is the home run, so I want you to all pay attention to what I stated. There was once an organization, and I'll just use organization because we don't know who the persons was or people was that were putting together those videos on children, who actually had a plan to manipulate your children without your knowing. Again, not trying to discredit Charlie Kirk or the message of does Robinson motive even matter? Yes, it matters on both sides, but I want people to understand that, yes, you may not have known who Charlie Kirk is, but understand the system does. And the system knew exactly that you guys wouldn't know who Charlie Kirk was until it was too late. And children are being indoctrinated with information that is not always true, but sometimes hateful. And that's where it gets sticky, because this type of stuff can go over the radar of the adults. Even a Gary who is in this type of media did not understand that children were being harmed by YouTube videos. And this is the same situation we're currently looking at. So I don't want everybody to think that, he hates Charlie Kirk. Hey, he's a human with family and children. I wish he thought about them people more. But the truth of the matter is, people are being indoctrinated from underneath the radar, and our system does understand that. They are literally understanding that you.
So I'm just going to suggest.
Thank you.
I did a little deeper dive into this. There were a lot of investigations by researchers and by journalists, and they couldn't really pinpoint who was behind it, but they found out that these videos were generated by overseas content firms. According to this article in ChatGPT, again, I have not time to check their research, which if I was doing a story, I would have to go beyond just what I'm seeing here. So I'm presenting this with a grain of salt. According to what ChatGPT is saying here, the main motivation was money, exploiting YouTube's algorithm to get clicks from kids. But I don't know, because the subliminal information, I don't think had anything to do with money. And I'm wondering.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you do subliminal gain you more access to money?
Right, but what I'm wondering is, given what we know about Russia and other foreign actors using the internet to cause division among Americans and in Europe, in the various European countries, among the citizens of those countries, it would not surprise me if we ultimately learn that it was something like that was behind all of this, to try to corrupt our society even more than it's corrupt now. Chris, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I was totally unaware of this.
Also, Gary, I just only wanted to say, and for purposes or even reason for the people in the room, I only wanted to bring that up because the information that was being spread was under the radar of the adults that should have been understanding to check those videos. Watch the videos for your 15 minutes before you allow your children to watch those 15-minute videos. That's my whole point. A lot of this stuff just goes over the adult's head, and then we find out later on that, oh man, this was probably hurting my child, and the parent can be a great parent. It just ends up being something that does not work in the message that you want to give your child.
They're giving sub-teens, children, smartphones to keep them busy, keep them out of the parents'
Basically.
ear. That's really a problem. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
That's really, really interesting stuff. Steve. Oh, by the way, it's now 5:58, so we will not be adding anybody to the stage. However, we will get to everybody on the stage who's already in queue as we go into extra time.
Yeah, Gary, to the topic of the room, I think it's important that we do. I think it does matter. And from this perspective, when we see corrosive elements starting to have a corrosive impact on the country, I think they need to be identified. And they need to be identified not in the way that Trump's talking about, let's go out and hunt them down and prosecute them, or Bondi's talking about prosecuting someone for talking about something. That's not what I'm talking about. More on an intellectual level, where you can draw those forces that are being corrosive out into the light, to where they have to articulate to the general population that might reject this line of thought. I think that's the important thing. And as long as it's bubbling underneath and we don't know the genesis, or we don't know what is producing the kind of action that we've seen, then we'll get caught flat-footed. And it's more to where the society, left and right, can expose the corrosive elements on either side. And like I say, corrosive elements, when exposed to the thoughtful interrogation of the idea, usually falls apart. And if you do that, then you invalidate the argument. So, just like with Lincoln, was just Booth, his motivation for shooting Lincoln, was it important? I think it was, because it to my point, it indicated that within society, even though the country had been through a traumatic event, there still was a lingering problem that needed to be addressed culturally within the greater society. So if we had these elements, and like I say, it's both ways. There's nut jobs on the right, there's nut jobs on the left. Political parties are not immune to this type of poison that can seep in. So either way, when those types of things are allowed to germinate in darkness, and they're allowed to germinate without being examined with critical thought from reasonable people, which I think most of our country is, then they can metastasize into an event like this. So that's the reason I think it is kind of important to address it before it evolves into a tragic situation and we find ourselves at each other's throats, Gary.
So to your point, excellent points, by the way, but to your point, would you argue then that since we don't yet know the motivation, that we should not speculate and not cast aspersions upon one another based on what we speculate the motivation is?
Well, I guess it would depend, to your question on that point, at what point, based on the investigation on all the elements that we know, do we say we haven't reached a tipping point in drawing a conclusion? I guess what I'm trying to say is, how much more information do we need to draw a conclusion, and are we drawing it prematurely? You may be correct. And everybody can fall victim to that because passions become inflamed and you have presupposed ideas about people and things that you can become irrational at some point. So I don't know. I'm not. I just don't know that from my point of view, that based on the information I've seen, that maybe I need that much more. I could have a huge blind spot here, Gary, and it may be related to my affiliation. And I'll leave it there.
What's been going on in my mind a little bit is, and we don't know if this is true, but supposedly there's some kind of a transgender issue here, because he had a romantic relationship with a transgender roommate. And we know that a recurring theme when Charlie Kirk was on campus, he would be challenged by folks who were transitioning, were furry babies, were people wearing the clothes of typically worn by people of a gender other than the one that was, as they say today, assigned at birth. And there was all these contentious discussions about transgenderism. And in that community, a lot of people felt that Charlie Kirk was a hateful person for the comments that he made. I'm not arguing that he was. I'm not arguing that he wasn't. I think it's fair to observe that a lot of people who confronted him on college campuses, and this was a recurring theme, felt that way about him. I also know, I can say this anecdotally, I don't have any research. I'm sure there is research to support or dispel what I'm about to say, that there are people who identify as transgender or transitioning, who I have met in my lifetime, who identify as conservatives, and there are people who are transitioning who identify as liberals. It's not a political position. It's not like I'm going to show how liberal I am, or I'm a liberal so I can transgender, but if you're a conservative, you can't. It's not that. It's a personal choice, whether you agree with it or not, whether you take Charlie Kirk's position or you feel that people have the right to make that choice is not the issue. I say this to suggest, from what the county prosecutor said today, there was a message between Robinson and his roommate, in which he said that he was going to kill Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk is a hateful person. It's very possible, and I just want to send out this proposition. I'm not arguing that this is the case, But I think it's possible that this was obviously an act of hate. Anytime you kill somebody, it's an act of hate. Generally, when you kill somebody, it's an act of hate. There's some exceptions, like self-defense. But this was obviously an act of hate. By his own admission, it was an act of hate. But it may not have been a partisan, political, or political ideological act of hate. It may just be this guy is influential in drumming up opposition to being a trans individual. He's a hateful person, so I'm going to kill him. It may have nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans, conservatives or liberals. And it may turn out that it was politically motivated along partisan lines. But at this point, we don't know. And that's why I don't understand why the nation is like screaming and pointing fingers at one another when we don't know. Don't let facts get in the way of a good argument. I guess is what's going on in our society, Steve.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I haven't heard it articulated that way, Gary. That's a very, very, very salient point there, and that could be. Actually, I hadn't considered the way you phrased it.
I'm not saying that I'm right, but I am saying there's a possibility that that's the motivation.
Yeah, I know. And that's true. I mean, you should consider all possibilities when you look at something like this. And that's actually one I hadn't considered. Good point, Gary.
Thank you, Steve. Meryl, has Pam Bondi knocked your door yet?
She's knocking at my door. I know. Today, I was reading everything that was being written. And I started to think, oh my gosh, I want to kill these people. I want to kill people on the right. Oh my gosh. Because it was so, that's what people on the left do. And by the way, who are the people on the left? I'm so confused. I can't articulate this.
Can I please interject and tell folks who may not understand that Meryl is being facetious? Because some people will take you literally, and they're going to say, Meryl said she wants to kill everybody on the right. And I know that's not what you mean, and I just want to clarify that.
Yes, I was being facetious. I felt like somebody was saying that about me. So I felt like a lot of people were doing that. I don't know how to articulate this well. I liked what you just said about, might not be about, it's about hate, but it might not be so much politically motivated. And I have often thought that when you have a person who's the sole shooter and you don't associate him with a group, you don't associate him that way, that person has been affected personally by something that the victim has done. And he has, and I do feel that this could very well be the case. I also think that a big problem that we have is when we start saying this person, it's on the right is the most violent, or the left is the most violent, we tend to elevate the person who's just been killed. I don't know that Charlie Kirk should be elevated any more than Melissa Horton, the House of Representatives, the head of the House of Representatives in Minnesota, who she and her husband were killed. And nobody really.
I think the husband survived, right? But she was killed.
No, they were both killed, and their dog. There's someone else who was killed. He was shot, and his wife was shot. That's two other Democrats that night. But no, they were both killed, and their dog, and their children are orphans now. And who talked about them? Did anybody talk about them the next day? And I sit and I feel that when we start talking about
Melissa Hortman, she was a Democratic state representative, formerly Speaker of the House, and her husband, you were correct to correct me, fatally shot in their home in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. You're right.
And So we have elevated by when we start attributing motives, we have then looked at Charlie Kirk. We've elevated him as much as he did in life. He's been elevated much more in death, and I don't think that we should do that. I think Bernie Sanders was right. I think your opening speech was right, as short as it was. I do think that we should. It's time for us to say, okay, enough. Now we're going to stop this. How do we stop it? There's so many reasons why we should. And this is how I feel right now. I feel that we need to put an end to it. I don't think we need to keep showing, have a contest. This group is more radical than that group. Because there's another thing that we don't know. We don't know on a daily basis, we don't know how many people get killed or how much domestic abuse there is that are started because of a political argument. We don't know that. We don't know about all the threats that come in that the FBI is keeping us from. We don't know all of these things. So we've got to be, and I just think we need to be more careful. But I want to stress that when we start saying it's more on the right or more on the left, we start to elevate people that maybe shouldn't be elevated. Maybe everybody should be looked at the same way. Thank you.
Here, Meryl.
Pardon?
He said, here, Meryl.
Who's that? Thank you.
Marshall.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Marshall.
So across the aisle. Thank you, Meryl. Double.
Hi, Gary. Yeah, it's been an interesting discussion. Didn't know about the YouTube hidden message.
I know. I thought he was like blowing it out his ear.
Yeah, it sounded
I said, what the hell are you talking about? Oh my God.
I do appreciate, directionally the idea that people are coming for your children. They want to corrupt your children. A lot of people think if they want to change society, they want to start early and get them while they're young. And he's right to point out Charlie Kirk saw that opening in the market, as did some others. I think Ben Shapiro has been on college campuses quite a bit. Speaking, you have even further right, even more problematic people like Milo Yiannopoulos. Although when he shows up to campuses, the protests often were so extreme that he would sometimes be uninvited. Like I believe that happened at UC Berkeley.
Yeah, happened to Ben Shapiro as well.
Yeah. So that's we could talk about that as a problem, but but I mean it's fair. That's what colleges are. We infantilize college students, unfortunately, but that really used to be considered that as your real maturation phase, where you're meant to contend with all the ideas in the world, however offensive or disturbing or mature or whatever they might be, that you now have to address learn, understand, process, debate, and that is part of your graduation into adulthood.
To that point, Double, and I'm going to sound like a curmudgeon, and I'm looking back and rah, 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 like that. But I think my observation is pretty spot on, based on some of the clips that, and they're all over the place now. And Meryl is absolutely right. He's bigger than life now, bigger in death than he was in life, Charlie Kirk. So the algorithms now are causing these clips, to which I referred earlier, to pop up on my Facebook and on my Instagram. And I see people coming to the microphone to debate Charlie Kirk having great difficulty articulating their thoughts. And some of them even are referring to something that they read on the internet, and they're holding their phones and reading off the phones when they're trying to debate Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk would say, look at me. Don't look at your phone. Look at me. And when I was in college,
my recollection, I may be looking at this through rose-colored glasses, was that we had very vibrant debates. I was in the Vietnam War era. We had immense discussions about the war, and people could sit down, usually over a beer at the local pub, and we could have an articulate, mature discussion about communism and the domino theory and exploitation and empire building and all that kind of stuff. All these various views were discussed. The military-industrial complex, but we need a strong military to protect us. People had varying points of view, and we would discuss them, and we could all articulate very well, I think, and then we would go our separate ways and remain friends. But when I saw and I don't know, maybe most of the clips, most of the interactions he had were not like this, but so many of the clips showed people sputtering while trying to talk to him. These are university students. What the hell?
Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. I think we've dramatically, the inflation of, even if you adjust for monetary inflation, the inflation of the cost of universities and the inflation or the expansion of the administrations in universities and the profit motive there has corrupted these institutions so much. We've dramatically lowered the standards and we've jacked up the price, so they're profit maximizing institutions now that don't really, you're allowing people in who don't have the cognitive abilities or education to be there.
Or the other thing that's happening, and I can speak to this anecdotally, I don't have any statistics to back this up, but I know of many cases where the student is articulate, the student is very intelligent, but the student kind of goes against the grain of the norm on the campus and is shut down. And it's like, well, wait a minute. As you pointed out, it's supposed to be the forum for open discourse about many issues, and yet people in the minority, whatever that minority might happen to be, are not given the opportunity to articulate their feelings, their beliefs, their arguments without being shunted by the other, shunned by the other students on the campus, and sometimes by the professors themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And, people are claiming, I heard someone I respect greatly on Clubhouse earlier today saying, if you send your child to, one of these northern or certainly northeastern universities, you are basically signing them up to be indoctrinated into a religious ideology that will push them to change their gender and become, radically opposed to.
I think that's an overstatement, but I think there's a greater acceptance of that, perhaps on the campus and in general society. But that nobody on the campuses are trying to get people to change their gender, and they're getting indoctrinated in a bunch of
other my cousin, Gary. It happened to my cousin. But
go talk to your cousin and ask your cousin.
We're out of touch. I think we as older people are, to the point of the earlier caller, I think even we are out of touch in just how, and I think that you saw it in that clip and seeing a kid said something slightly counter to the group think and was immediately shamed into submission. And like that is...
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about right now. You're taking it to another level. I'm going to let you go because we're out of time.
I'm just telling you what that group think is.
Check with your cousin and see when their cousin started having feelings of transition.
I'm not just talking about transition. I'm just talking about the overall theme of, what some people would call the woke religion, Gary.
Yeah, but you just said that people would be pushed into becoming transgender.
Trans is just one aspect of.
Well, I'm just responding to what you said. I gotta run. Thank you, Double.
Thank you very much.
We go to Shadow. Shadow, you're up.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Man, my ADD is on overload right now, so I don't even really know what I want to say. But if we're talking about,
we're all in that position right now. So don't think that it's that you have a medical condition. You're just part of society, buddy.
Right. Yeah. So does the motive really matter? Like, I really don't. I wouldn't say it does, because, I mean, you can be presented with, especially a specific side, I won't say which, will be presented with facts, and then the story will always be spun in some sort of fashion. I mean, for example, if you want to dig into the data, like I've posted it in the chat, I've sent it in your back channel as well, Gary. But if we're talking about let's say Tyler Robinson, he was born in Utah. He went to a conservative school, raised by a conservative family. All of those data points would point to that he could be a conservative, because that's the way he grew up. But the fact that he was in a queer, quote unquote, relationship, does that make him part of the left?
No,
I don't know.
No, that just means that was his sexual preference or orientation or experimentation. It has nothing to do with his partisan political positions.
Right. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that particular story. I mean, honestly, he could just be a crazy person, and it should just be left at that. But again, the data that I added in your chat, if you go to, it's by the Cato Institute, and then I think it's SUNY, the New York University. I forget what the acronym means, but if you look,
State University of New York is SUNY, State University of New York.
State University, there it is. If you look into the data, it's pointing to a particular side. If you look at right after 9/11, the data shows that most of the violence was caused by Islamism. I don't know why they would include international crimes into that. I felt like that part of it was kind of skewed. But if you look at all of the tables, the data is pointing to a specific side, which is the right, and all the ideological homicides that have happened over the years. And then the state college, the State University of New York, State University of New York data also points to all the homicides that happened prior to 2000 onward to 2016. It's by the right. And the data is there. One of the tables shows the number out of 269. It leans towards the right, and then the table right under it is out of 469. It's clear as day where the violence is coming from. But even with that data presented,
what does the partisan bent to political violence have anything to do with it? Why are we taking their political view into account? Isn't the violence just bad because it's murder?
My point was just that if you're presented with facts, people will still always spin it in some way or fashion. But I'm just presenting. This isn't my study. This is where it's coming from. So that's all I was pointing out.
Okay, no.
Although anecdotally, recently, the victims of political violence have tended to be people on the right, with the exception of what happened in Minnesota. By the way, breaking news out of London, where the president is on a state visit. I'm kind of chuckling about this. Somebody projected these big images of Trump and Epstein onto the castle. And more people got arrested for that. But you got to see the video of this. I'm sure you'll find it all over the damn place. Holy cow. Thank you for that. Is pretty cool, actually. I thought. Shadow, thank you. Dave.
Yeah, no problem.
Gary, I think you are one of the few speakers since this topic started. Talk about potential exploitation by foreign actors. I think this is something that need to look into it. It's not recent. It has been planted in decades, and because even the professor are infected, right? It means something quite long. But the good thing is after all this discussion you brought up, the picture start to seem very clear, and there is a solution. I always look for solution. It's not. It is time that both sides have to come together. Yeah, this is good. Just like here, there's an opportunity of healing because we get to hear both sides of view, and we need more platform like that. And we need to figure out how to scale so that both sides can come together and look at it and figure out both sides could contribute to the solution. It's not one side, it's need both sides. Because, from what I hear is the Thompson already hear something. Charika is coming. I think he heard it like 1 week earlier. So, and he's already thinking, but then he heard coming, and that somehow eventually triggered to, now is the time. And then he left a note under his keyboard, right? Say, I have the opportunity to kill him now, blah, blah, something like that. So, and that, I feel like the motivation is based on transgender identity things. And I'm foreign to this topic, but as I debate in Clubhouse, occasionally I come across people want me to put this topic as equal status as protection of Western civilization. I was like, what are you talking about? I was trying to minimize this important, but I think these people are really feeling their voice are not being heard, and they are feeling a lot of challenges and threat from multiple ways. And I'm guilty of it. I just put less important, but I'm not like discriminate, right? But I think they want their voice to be heard, and they're feeling a lot of threat, and they amplified it, and the killer of Charles Kirk took that response, right? And I think so. I did check GPT and asked a couple of questions. What is this transgender motivated violence compared to political violence? I asked this question. It come up with very nice arrangement. It will take me some time to figure out how to organize it in a very coherent point. I urge you all to ask this question to the ChatGPT. And I think, is this motivated politically? I think from the time Charlie Kirk was killed, I mean, from the Republican point of view, Charlie Kirk in the way is a very rare person. He has a lot of talent, and he still have a lot of things that he expected to do, but he just being killed too early. And the Republican side is shocked. And they need to figure out an answer and revenge. And just like the same thing, when Lincoln got killed, and because it was just a few days before a Southern Confederate surrender, so someone has to figure out a revenge, and so the Republican side is acting on this, right? But I hope they realize that. Again, I don't want to take up too much time, but I somehow figure. So it has many things. When Trump take over, he's very hard. Common sense. You're either male and female. He took it very hard, and he pushed it, and it's taking it too fast because this concept has been cooking for many years, and this community need time to adjust to Trump's approach to very hard, very quick change. And so this community have no time to respond. And this is also politically motivated in the sense that when Trump is running for re-election, Charlie Kirk understand the position of the party. From the religion point of view, from Christianity point of view. Again, that is something also the Republican side had to look at it. How hard should one look at to pro-life, transgender thing? Because most of the discussion I hear the student coming in, just like you say, they were looking at handy and start asking questions. They are all immature in their understanding what pro-life and what transgender and so on. So, so what I want to say is there is a solution and it's a good opportunity, and both sides have to step back, and both sides have to understand in the end, you are American. Your enemy is foreign and not among yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Dave, AC, and then Steve will get the last word. AC.
All right. Thank you, Gary. This has been a phenomenal room, but to be concise, so does Robinson's motive even matter? My perspective, when I first heard the name Tyler Robinson, I was saying in my head, please don't be a black guy, please don't be a black guy, please don't be a black guy, please don't be a black guy. And the reason being is this is the single most important element of this entire thing. I almost did a room saying called the Kirk Alert. Which minority group are they going to scapegoat for the killing of Charlie Kirk? And I think that my experience, living in America, is that when something happens like this, there's typically a scapegoat, and the revenge on that demographic is going to be tremendous. There's going to be a tremendous amount of spite and vengeance for whatever group is assigned this, whether it is
I think you should say that. I was thinking, please don't be a Jewish guy. So
yeah, and so I was like, there's going to be a tremendous amount of vengeance for whatever demographic it is, whether it is Democrats, whether it is the LGBT community, black community. I know when COVID first happened, I was like, if this is anything to do with China, then all Asian people are going to have to deal with this. When 9/11 happened, I was like, if this has anything to do with...
By the way, a lot of Asian people were attacked on the streets of the United States.
Yeah.
And even if they had been Chinese, what does that have to do with anything? They had nothing to do with what happened over there.
Exactly. And so the reason why I was saying, please don't be a black guy, is because I know that I'm going to have to deal with... I live in the Bay Area, right? And next to Berkeley and San Francisco, and I don't have anything to do with that, but how America kind of works, right, is somebody has to get the blame, and there has to be some sort of revenge or vengeance, and then that happens for a long period of time. I know when Obama was leaving office for his second term, there was all these police shootings of black people. It was like every week and every day, and to me, I took that as a message, as we are reclaiming our country or whatever. So there's lunatics on both sides, and so I think that this is the single most important part of this, because as soon as a narrative is established, there's going to be groups that are basically going to commit acts of terror. And so ever since this Kirk shooting has happened, I've kind of been on edge, because it just feels like we are waiting to hear what the facts are. And as soon as the country gets the facts and we can establish a narrative of whose fault it is, then that group is going to experience some sort of revenge terror attack. And so that's my point of view on it. But I think it's the most important element of this entire story.
Nobody else has brought that up. It's really important. I'm glad you did. Thank you, AC. Steve, you got the last word.
Thank you. Gary, so glad I've been listening to your show today. Literally, I have a 22-year-old blood niece, just graduated UCLA speech communication degree. She's going to her master's program at Northwestern in journalism. By the way, Gary, I don't know if you knew, but that's only like a 12 or 14-month program.
I've actually trained interns from the Northwestern School of Journalism, which it's debatable who's got a better J school, Hofstra or people say NYU or Columbia, but it's really Hofstra and Northwestern. Those are the top two in Gary's esteemed professional opinion. So good luck to her
Thank you. But Gary, up until an hour ago, I had no concerns about her sexuality because she started UCLA at 18, straight female, graduated UCLA, straight female, but now she's going to one of those Northwestern schools or whatever. I'm concerned about her coming out transitioning into a man.
Where that comes from.
But that being said, I wanted to comment on what you said about debating and how you debated back in the 60s, or you had conversations in the 60s, and people debated Kirk recently. Now, I have not seen any of the Kirk debates, but I've been involved in debates. I've seen debates. I've listened to debates. And Gary, you among all people will attest that a good debater can debate both sides. Nobody belongs in a debate if they cannot have at least a modicum of information that they've studied. And what I presume what's been said today as far as Charlie Kirk debating college students, and they have to go to their phones to look up Google or ChatGPT or whatever, to me that means they have not done the proper preparation for that discussion or that debate. There's an old cliche, Gary, you've probably heard it. Preparation plus opportunity equals luck, okay? And I just find that a lot of people, not all people, a lot of people are taking the easy way out. They are not doing the basics, the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of critical thinking, which is to put the time in, do the research, distinguish your fact from opinion, and then develop your own conclusions and your own arguments. They're taking the easy way out, and I'll land it here, Gary, because I know you.
This is a Democrat liberal vote show.
To do
Gary
the
Scott
research.
and Allen, three sailors.
It is hard to do proper preparation. It's easy to spend 10 or 15 minutes, get some sound bites, get some headlines, and think you can come off as doing well. Nothing substitutes for proper preparation. And Gary, thanks again. Bye.
You're 100% correct. Thank you, Steve. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time. So till 5 p.m. New York time tomorrow for the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum. Everybody be safe, be well, and peace out.
Was patient. I've lost things. He's been killed.
More people talking about nothing and wasting all their time. Welcome back, everyone. Another exciting show where we record people talk about nothing and waste all their time.
I mean, I'm seeing some people saying that all of
Call me
this
a hypocrite.
Is like
Call me a
they're
critic.
arguing the
But I'll let you
Palestinian
judge.
side is the true
Is this a
side,
waste of time?
because UN, United Nations kind of agreed to it, or they declared that. I mean, if United Nations was the perfect source,
Who stepped on a duck?
people were being killed. Nobody talks about that. There are so many people killed all around the world. Then, I mean, United Nations do shit. In Iran, we consider United Nations a kind of, I would say, a sham. There are so many countries in the world, and they come with their own bias. So of course, yes, it's an international organization, but it doesn't mean that they're free from bias or lobbyists. If they were really on the true side of the history, on the side that tells the truth, stands for truth, they would have stand for our people, for Iranian people who were killed in the streets. Yet they said shit, they did nothing. And now you're bringing that as your point of reference. It's interesting.
They got their hands tied.
We got an all-star
The
cast
orthodoxies
here.
of institutions
In the house of BB.
include individual actions. criticism is the best illustrator. Stalin couldn't have stopped himself. The best thing that can be done is critical analysis.
My one question is that why didn't Hamas, which has the biggest popularity, I mean, at least to the recent numbers, I'm not sure if I'm correct there, so if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. Why didn't Hamas take the chance to have peace when they were offered one? To the people who are defending that point, this is my only question. Why didn't they take the peace side? If United Nations stands for